Yeah. I mean, they tell you in the main game that they fear something.
You're I will never I'll never know because the time zone's RNG. Probably gonna happen every day, which is really nice. Opportunity right there at the right time. Working. Uh-huh. Yeah, because you probably got to see her second form.
Yeah, the one with the head. No, I don't know. I just saw her enemy and like animation. That's all.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be they're on treat prep.
Yeah.
I can stay before I go to bed. 40 plus so good. So good, but it's so spoiler for Mahoyo 2 that you're probably never gonna see Mahoyo 2.
That's because Jobs. That's because the devotees are not loyal enough to pay the gacha funds.
Be perfectly honest with you. I'm Mahoyo 2. I think I don't see on your cat.
Who was?
Hello there. How's it going, guys? Hope everybody is doing good today. What did Steve change his name to now? Jesus. The tweet is live. Do me a favor, go give it some love. I was just observing something there in the Discord that made me go, what the hell? Let me grab today's artwork for you. Daiko Kuten from a daily, nice. I probably should be doing my daily list singles. I forget way too often because of, like, well, money. Okay. Should be good to go. Let's get this party started. Hello, everybody. Here is today's artwork. Go give the artist some love. There we go. Oh, thank you for the post and the pen drops. Appreciate it. Where do I begin? So, chat, we never got to do Sono G on Friday, aka Sono G. Sonojiro? I'm trying to remember what his name actually is. Again, forgive me. I'm not the biggest Mihoyo fan out there. Nothing against it. I just literally don't know much about it. So when it comes to knowing the name of the protagonist, I'm just terrible. So Suzuki? Wait, is it Suzuki or Shizuki? Because I've seen some include an H and some not. And that's the problem, is I don't trust Phantom. Mitsubishi? Okay. That one I can get behind. I'm familiar with that one. Ahoy, hello. And I hope everybody's doing good on both sides of the equation over here. Bit of housekeeping. I'm just trying to think of what else we've got, but basically I have I had the schedule out for this week. I did want to say that, again, we will be doing Sono G's review today. We will be doing both the collabs, and we will be... I actually need that. There we go. And we will be doing Stellar Blade if we have the time. We played Stellar Blade over the weekend. Pretty interesting. I did not like the start of the game. I thought it was pretty atrocious. You could tell it was the developer's first time making a game like that. But it got a lot better. I think the game looks very beautiful and the combat's fairly good, but the explanations and things like that are very lacking. And so without real knowledge, you're kind of just stumbling through it. Yeah, we do know Alice's skills. I will just go ahead and give you the brief assumption, though, that well, yes, there is a playable Alice. That does absolutely tell me that Alice will eventually be playable. But will she be the exact same? Will she come out right now? I don't know. You guys know I don't really dabble too much in data mines. It's helpful for me as a content creator to know that they exist and to know about them. But I still tell everybody, just take it with a grain of salt until it's released. Don't just fly off the handle and assume that it's, going to be exactly as is, because we've had things change before and people get deeply upset when that is the case. Suzuki just sounds off. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if it's Suzuki or Shizuki. And chat told me to call him Sono G, so I'm gonna... We get her on the 1st of tomorrow morning? I mean, do we get her on the 1st? How do you know that? Did they announce that you're getting her on the 1st? Maybe they did. I assume that she's coming out Friday, because it's usually a week later, but... Shizuki? Interesting. But either way, they did announce her. I just forget which day. Okay. I don't know who Alice is, and a disappointment for me. No, chat is correct. I forgot they did actually announce her at the thing. You guys can tell when I'm going through the paces, right? And that's kind of why I have to, is because we've had leaked units before and people go ape shit over it, and I'm just like, well, hold on. But yeah, no, they did actually announce her, so I'm sure we will be getting her. If I seem a little slow or lethargic today, chat, please take it with a grain of salt. I think I'm beginning to suffer from extreme mental fatigue. And that sounds, oh, sure, Cad, everyone's always mentally tired. No. No, this is not a normal thing. I've pointed this out to you guys before. I obviously have had time off since tax season, but I haven't had time off since tax season. So I think this weekend, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm just gonna try to I have one thing I need to do this weekend, and other than that, I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna sit down, maybe play some video games, maybe just vegetate. I don't know, but it will be what it'll be. I did tell you guys I wasn't sure if we were gonna do the Konosuba Marathon this weekend or if we were gonna do another media share night. We're gonna do the Konosuba Marathon this week because brain. So that's going to be kind of why. Your case of FGO. No, I mean to explain it to you guys. I'm just trying to think about how to say this. The only way that I can explain it adequately is I want you guys to imagine using your brain all day, every day, and I'm sure chat's gonna be like, "What do you mean, Cat? I always use my brain all day, every day." I mean, I can never flip the switch off. I can never turn it off. That's the problem I'm having. I'm actually having a hard time sleeping because of it. And I know that all that is just that is extreme mental fatigue. I am so mentally tired that my brain goes kind of inert, turns to mush after a long day of work. I actually feel better. I got some food in me. I was just sitting there watching Shogun, ironically enough, the TV show that was out. It's been pretty good. But I even doing stuff like that, it's getting to me. It's all of my schedule. It's work on top of it. It's just all the real life shit I had to do. I had to email my HOA today about some stupid spot in my lawn that they're just deeply upset about and have been getting deeply upset about, and they just won't leave me the fuck alone. So it's that on top of work, on top of everything else. To explain to you guys, I told you we had tax season was over, but then I had one of the biggest returns in the office that I had to get done because it was due to a weird fiscal year end. I got that done actually Friday, and I thought, I was like, oh man, now I'm free. It came back to my desk today, and I had to do more on that. And then I also had another coworker that was basically slopping more stuff on my desk and telling me oh yeah, I need you to do this because I have no idea how to do it. So it's that. I cannot ever turn my brain off. Even playing video games this weekend, I'm gonna say the video games were somewhat frustrating and brain consuming. Stellar Blade, definitely so. I think you guys saw that from the very beginning of stream, where my tolerance for the game's issues was very low. I didn't want to make a big deal of it, but I was actually pretty close to quitting on that first boss because that's how my brain was just I'm not dealing with this. So it's making me short-tempered. It's making me basically not have the processing power to be able to handle stuff. So Sonic, thank you for the 29. I'll be able to relax and get some good sleep soon. Yeah, I don't really know what to do. It's really weird. I've never been this tired in my entire life. And I can keep going, but I don't know. It just, it's kind of I feel if I don't keep going, I'm also letting you guys down, but also at the flip side, I need to keep going to keep stuff covered so that work doesn't build up on me. On the other side of this notepad, chat, is a nice big list of things that I have to do. A bunch of them are crossed off. That's kind of the issue, is even while I was off this weekend and had time to work on stuff, I never turned my brain off. I spent all weekend doing stuff, and I had to apologize to somebody in DMs today for promising to get back with them on something and totally forgetting about it. I had that much shit I had to do that I completely forgot to actually touch base with someone that I had told I would. So we're safe from a collab meta support, it seems. I mean, if you're looking at the kit and assuming that's the case, yes. But like I said, I'm not gonna assume it until it's out. So Take a day off, my guy. I mean, that's kind of what tomorrow will be. I hope to see you guys there for the Kona Super Marathon. We're going to be doing season 2. We did all of season 1 for the first one, so if you guys are curious or want to join, feel free to like catch up. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be starting season 2. My brain is mush, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna like sit here and constantly pity party you guys, but I just wanted you guys to understand that's kind of what's going on behind the scenes, so that like if I do end up like just failing and canceling one of these days, you'll kind of know that's probably what it was. Is my brain just gave out. You don't want to be a crispy critter, as someone I used to work with put it. Yeah, I've been tired before. I've been mentally tired before. I've never been this mentally tired. It was enough that like I was actually like Googling it to basically see like how bad are the downsides to this. So this is what it is. Sounds like you need less screen time and more physical IRL activities. No, it's not really even really screen time, because like vegging out and like watching TV shows is perfectly okay. Maybe better diet? No, chat. There's that. I can't explain this to you enough, so let me very quickly put it succinctly for you. The chat. This is my schedule. I wake up. I work. I go to lunch. I work. I come home. I basically get ready to stream, do chores, and do all of that. And then I go to bed and I repeat it again. My day can be divided into functionally, 3 parts, and each of those 3 parts is an effort. It's work. Streaming shouldn't be effort, shouldn't be work, but it has been lately. I'm just going to be honest with you. So, it is what it is. More fun and interesting when you're at 100% mental capacity with us. Take some time off. Yeah. Hey, my man, not even eating dinner anymore. I eat dinner. I eat dinner after I get home. I let the dogs out. I eat dinner, and I basically try to relax some. But yeah, there's only so much I get out of that. So we need to touch grass quite literally. I actually have. So that's not the issue. Trust me. Hello, Ingor. Please relax. We understand. I know. I just we'll continue on, right? Like I told you guys I would do Sono G. I didn't get to do it on Friday, so we're gonna do it. That is the main goal for today. Month in the gym can do wonders for the mind. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, not in the status that I'm currently in. And to all the gym bros out there that are shaking their head right now, being like, "Oh, he doesn't get it." No, I understand it more than you realize. Like, again, I can't emphasize to you guys enough. I grew up as an athlete. I've spent plenty of time in a gym. I'm that tired. Straining my body more will break it, not help it. Not right now. But that's the only way I can put it, right? If it persists, please go see a doctor. Yeah, I mean, the other thing you guys got to remember too is I basically had the wind taken out of my sails like a week before tax season actually like ended. So I was sick with a god awful sinus infection with sinusitis right before that, and like even during that time I was off work, but like I was worried about work, I was anxious about work, and I was like hardly able to sleep due to all the congestion. So I just was in this perpetual state of exhaustion. And I have managed to get a couple days here and there, but like every time I get a day, more shit happens. That's literally all I can say. And I'm tired of shit. I'm tired of having to deal with stuff. I about lost it on my coworker today because they dared bring me that stuff, and they were asking me stupid questions that they should have known the answer to, and they really should have. Actually, chat, I've got storm pods, so let's go ahead and start there. Keep those down. I did get to do the like unique node that happened at the beginning of today. But I'm trying to remember. Like it was what do we even call those, chat? I actually have no fucking clue. Like what are they? That's how you get isekai'd? Oh, believe me, I'm there. No idea. Yeah, I have no idea either. Lancer thingies? I mean, were they all? I mean, yeah, it was a Lancer node, but are they all Lancers? Like a timed raid? Hey, kind of. I mean, like it's not even really a raid. Outbreak quests? Yeah. God, I hate that idea. But no, that's I did the outbreak quest then this morning and got a couple runs of that. It was actually available. I was able to find it, so that was the thing. Trubs also, I retweeted it, but he also posted the times for the next one, as people have already managed to figure it out. Take a month off streaming and take it over each take it over each day, huh? I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Rain. I mean, I'm gonna say this, chat. Y'all can think I'm a masochist, but that's not how streaming works. You can't take a day off. Like it sounds weird. It's like you can take a day off, but it's like I can't take a month off. In a weird way, if I were to take a month off, I would probably not see like at least a quarter of you ever again. Sucks, but it's the truth. That's kind of the issue that I see over time. And people can say that's not the case. People can pledge their allegiance. People can say that no, not them. They'll definitely be there. I've seen it time and time again. I know that no matter what anyone says, it is the brutal and unfortunate truth of the matter. This is the pressure that a lot of streamers talk about. You know, I'm gonna say this, like, really weird because I saw a lot of discourse like last month about this, that like content creators trying to say like, oh yeah, our job isn't that hard. Fuck those people. That's all I can say. If a content creator thinks their job isn't hard, they either had everything handed to them on a silver platter, or they just have somebody that does everything for them. I'm sorry, it's the brutal and unfortunate truth. Like, content creation is hard. It's a lot of work, and you are always on the clock if you are trying, right? So the only thing I can assume is if people are saying it's not hard, they're not trying. And that's I think the unfortunate issue with it. Even so, Cat needs a real vacation. Been years since I've had one at this point, but no, I mean, like, I'm not opposed to like taking some time off stream. It's just I already feel like I've been flaky to you guys, especially considering like my consistency over the years. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's a lot of it is juggling work and all the brain power that entails, juggling random dramas that have happened over time, and basically having to sit there and also like cover FGO and try to keep content up, and the pressure that entails. So I think in doing all of that, that's kind of my issue, is like, it's not that I find streaming particularly hard or like that it's not fun for me or anything like that. It still is. But I will say that I think the issue at play is that with how much like pressure I've had on me due to both work and FGO of late, it is added up, and it's tearing me apart at this point. So like a lot of that is just like, oh, I had to deal with the lotto, I had to deal with like a bunch of new unit releases. I've been trying to get you guys the banner reviews and stuff like that out. I know I'm not the one editing it, so it's not like I'm doing a bad like thing there, but just like basically every single thing that I've had to do. Like, for instance, last week, chat, I had to review Alice. I had to also like go over like the entirety of the 4-star ticket and like get that posted, and it's like, yeah, that kills. And they're like, oh, well, because Alice released on a Friday and I really wanted to get the video out for timeliness to help its views, because the views on a video for review tank if I don't get it out literally within 24 hours of the unit releasing. Basically I end up in this weird point where like, oh yeah, I had to also do that on the weekend, and that also took up time on the weekend. So, see, there you go. I can't even call the unit by its right name. So, but you're the most consistent FGO tuber, right? And I don't like. I take that at least seriously, right? I don't really know what to say. Like, it's just one of those things where, yes, I'm more consistent than anyone else, but we're talking like historically, right? Like, and in a weird way, I don't want to put this burden on you guys or anything like that, but a lot of the FGO community is very much, what have you done for me lately? And so, like, people basically don't remember this. Listen, Chad, I remember getting in spats with people, and I remember, like, at least in one occasion, I've had somebody accusing me of not understanding how difficult it is to be a small streamer. That had to be one of the stupidest comments I've ever heard, ever. If they don't think that, like, somebody like me hasn't had to deal with all of the same trials and tribulations that they have, I don't understand what the hell they're thinking. Like, and look, I'm not going to say that every streamer does have it the same. I think some streamers have it harder than others, due to life circumstances, due to directories, due to content goals, and maybe the people that they have around them. But I'm also going to say that that I firmly believe that some streamers actually do have it easy, but usually you're not talking to one of them, because the streamers that have it easy at that point are probably the people that are the biggest ones. They're the most successful ones. They're the ones that have managed to sort of pawn off a lot of the responsibility onto other staffers at that point. You're 670, you don't know what it's like to be a small streamer. Yeah, no. And that's like, I understand. And I don't want to, like, in any way, shape, or form denigrate any small streamers. I'm just trying to point out that it's like, it's such a, like, tone deaf comment to make about somebody that, like, people don't realize how long I've been around, how much I've been doing, and, like, all the body of work that's been put in over the years. And to be fair, it is definitely a chip on my shoulder at this point. I think there's a lot of people in the community that don't give me the time of day. They don't want to. And they basically just make me out to be somewhat of a boogeyman from time to time. And I'm just like, listen, I'll say this once, I'll say it again, but the way in which I react to streamers and other content creators is in the way in which usually that they react to me or to the people around them. So it's like, if people are treating people like ass, I ain't dealing with that person. If people are treating me like ass, I ain't dealing with that person. And that's just plain and simple. But I think, like, probably to a degree, people, probably could apply the same thing to me. I'm not, like, ignorant to the fact that people probably don't look at me and go like, oh, he could be doing more. But also at the same time, the entire reason that I conduct myself in the way that I have is because I've gotten burnt so many times. And I think at this point in time, like, just kind of circling back at this point, that, like, this is kind of my issue overall, is that, like, yeah, there's just a ton of people that don't really, like, realize even who I am. So if you lack self-respect and low IQ, streaming can be easy. Yeah. A lot of streamers start in the same place. So I would say it's always a dumb comment. Yeah, I mean, like, and you can say, like, so one of the easier paths to success within streaming is to have already built your fan base elsewhere and to, like, transfer it over. So to some degree, that would look to people like they had it easy. Doesn't mean that person didn't start from somewhere, right? Like, I think I would never accuse somebody of like, well, yeah, they might have had it easier. Doesn't mean they didn't put in work. Doesn't mean they didn't try. Doesn't mean they didn't have to do things, right? It's just where you might say that someone had it easier is if they just managed to like know the right people and like kind of get immediately boosted and elevated from that. We do see that from time to time within streaming, but it is what it is. It adds to the mental drain of having to be on all the time along with work, so I get it. Yeah, that's I I wish I didn't have to work, if that makes any sense. I wish that that like this were my job, because I've seen people before that are like, oh yeah, like this is how much I'm doing, and I'm like, they're like, oh man, it's such a big ordeal, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, there's I'll see some of the stuff that people write about, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm doing all these things, and I'm like, okay, that is a lot of work, but then I also realize I'm like, there's no way you're doing all that work and working another job. So that tells me that streaming is their job. And then you start to add it up and you realize they're not even working the full like 8-hour day that most people do. And then you go like, like I don't know how much work that is at that point. I feel like if streaming were my job, there would be way more of a consistent structure and planning to things. And I'd say I do a pretty good job of planning out most of my stuff already as is, but I would have more time to do it, and I would be able to take it more seriously in that regard. So I'm always surprised at people that like seemingly have all the time in the world and don't take it more seriously. Also, your content is low-hanging fruit. I think a lot of people think that, and I think the reason a lot of people think that my content is low-hanging fruit is because two reasons. One, most of my videos are not edited, and they're not edited because, well, and this is not an insult to my editors, but they basically couldn't be edited fast enough. So I don't really have the time to edit it, and paying my editors to do it, they're not fast enough really to do it. I'm in talks with somebody, but I need to get back to talking with them. But I think that's issue number one. And I think issue number two is that people see all the time that, here, let me case in point you. People see all the time, it's like, oh, he's just looking at the wiki. And I'm like, yeah. The thing about a wiki, really any information at that point is, it is always dependent on your knowledge level of the actual content. So I can look at this skill and I can be like, damn, this is a good skill. And the skill might actually be bad. But to the laymen that are just watching the video and maybe don't know any better, you could argue that they're easy to fool. Now, the reality is they're not easy to fool. And if I say this skill is really good, but this skill is actually really bad, you're going to get a ton of people that are going to be in the comments immediately calling me out for it. And over time within the FGO community, I'll say, calling it the directory doesn't really apply when this is more on the YouTube side of things. But over time, there have been tons of people that have read off the wiki and didn't know jack shit about what they were talking about. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to point fingers. It just is what it is. Okay. I understand wanting to be a content creator and wanting to cover content, but to me, again, if you're going to be a content creator, try to know, try to understand, try to figure things out so that you can adequately advise people. And so I think that's kind of what people are used to when they say these things like, oh, all they do is read off the wiki. And it's like, yeah, that's because there are a ton of people that's all they do and they don't understand anything about what they're reading. As opposed to me, like, I can read you this skill, I can talk to you about this skill and its effects, things that you need to consider when you're going to use this skill, things that you might not understand about it and the way it works, and then boom, there you go. So like, for instance, on this one, chat, talking in relation to something like, say, Aoko skill, this actually happens to be Mary Anning, ironically enough. But basically, if we were to talk about this in relation to Aoko's skill, Aoko's third skill in her first form prevents any demerit from occurring on the player. It's not going to prevent demerits, though, on the enemy, nor is it going to prevent things like Drain, because Drain's not considered a demerit. So, for instance, you could look at stuff like this, and I immediately realized that even though it has a little symbol here that fandom put here, this is like a content creator trap. Fandom put a little symbol here making you think this is a demerit. It's not. It is not a preventable thing. It literally will drain the enemy no matter what, because drains are not a demerit. There are some demerits that give a drain, and you can prevent the initial demerit that would acquire it. It's usually a clock buff, but their drains themselves are not a demerit. So this is another interesting thing, and that's why I'm saying, like, yes, I can actually discern the difference between these things because I know. So that's kind of case in point. It's like, yes, I read off the wiki all the time. I'm sure people think that my content is low grade because I'm reading off the wiki. The reality is I'm reading off the wiki so that I have something to show to you. Because I could just do one of these, chat. I could just literally say, hey, you know what? Here is the character's face. And like, then I could just like, instead do something like this. And then, like, I could be, like, just turning off something like this. Hold on. There we go. And so now I've become literally, like, 90% of YouTubers. And, like, that's it. And then, like, if I really wanted to be fancy, I could edit this where, like, it actually, like, slowly panned and zoomed in over time. And like you would think that this was a well-edited video and that like it was actually, you know, like doing something. But the reality is I might still be, to some degree, just reading off the freaking wiki. So the whole point is this just a presentation thing. It has nothing to do with a person's actual knowledge. And be clear on this one so that like you guys... Again, this is the problem with mental degradation here is I'm forgetting words. So to be clear on this so that you guys understand, don't confuse good presentation with good knowledge. And I've seen this time and time again happen as people get bamboozled by like clever editing and stuff to think that like somebody actually knows what they're talking about. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's like nobody out there in the FGO community besides me that knows what they're talking about. There are plenty that do. It's just you have to know the right ones, and it's going to be, once you've heard one of them, you'll kind of know the rest that actually do know. Draw the servant yourself, lazy streamer. Yeah, how dare I? But that's kind of the case in point. And I'm reminded of the old adage from Buddha, I think it was, that just because a dog is a good barker does not make it a good dog. Therefore, just because a man is a good speaker does not make them a good man. So that is to say, if somebody is really eloquent and uses fancy words, doesn't necessarily mean they know what they're talking about. What was that ad? It was not even in English. It knew what you wanted. It knew exactly what you wanted. Buddha said F the haters. Well, no, the entire premise there is appearances can be deceiving, right? Like, and just because somebody is very good at speaking does not mean that they're speaking the truth, if you will. So the classic thing you can apply that to is politicians. So Cad not memorizing Black Grail numbers. What do you, yeah, Black Grail, 2400 attack scaling, does 60 NP damage base and scales up to 80 NP damage and does what, 500 a tick, or is it 600? I think it's 500 a tick. Let me double check. Damn. Come on, to be fair, that one's low-hanging fruit, though. You read it before, cheater. Yes, it's me, the cheater. A great cat of the swamp. Is Morgan still good in 2024? Morgan is as good as you think she is. See, now that is a political response. Me very good with word, but not know what word mean. Understand much. Morgan expires? No. I checked the event in JP. The next farming happens 2200 JST to 2400 JST. I mean, or you could just go to Mr. True Love Trouble's tweet where he broke down for you guys literally all the times. There you go. There's Trebs' tweet. Wait, was that mine tweet? Hold on. Oh, okay, no, it's just my repost. Why does it have my Twitter on there? That's so freaking weird. Yeah, that should put it basically in your time zone there. I like how the game gives you such subtle hints. Cat, if you're a real Arturia simp, then tell me all of her code. What? Like, are you asking what, like, number servant she is? She's 1. Literally 1. Servant number 1. Because I believe MASH is 0, if I remember correctly. Let me double check that, though. Servant by ID. Is she 2? She is 2. I'm sorry. There you go. Now, don't ask me every Saberface. That I definitely don't know. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to say, chat, that there is a very logical explanation for why I don't know something in FGO. It's not important. If I don't know something, it's probably not important to know, or it's so new that I can't have known it yet. That's it. That's the simple explanation. It doesn't mean I know everything in this game. It just means that I've learned that there's certain facets of the game that I don't really need to commit to memory because they're not important. Was Lily 1 then? No, MASH is 1. Twitter's been spoiling me on the current JP event. I'm surprised that I haven't spoiled all of LB7 or the OC. I mean, I will say, at least with regards to this one's at least Mihoyo, and people are complaining on the JP side of things that, that Mihoyo is getting spoiled basically by the event. So I do find it really funny though that people are complaining that FGO is spoiling, and then they're complaining on Twitter while they're spoiling it. It's kind of like, okay. Like asking Cad what the NP gain rate of Lartoria's cards. God, yeah, I actually don't know that off the top of my head. I'm sorry. And it's really weird because I could tell you actually in raw numbers about what they normally perform at. I couldn't tell you the actual MP gain rate though. The only reason I know the latter is from pure usage. Isn't Mihoyo like 12 years old? I actually don't know. I don't know how old Mihoyo is in relation to, like, say things like K and stuff like that. So 2012, okay. Kind of surprised you haven't given Rash a Bond Grail. I probably will when I start like actually getting to like 90 plus content. He's not missing out on too much here, thank God. But yeah, you're probably right. I should probably consider it. I, honest to God, have not used him enough at this point to have warranted it. But like as of this node, I kind of finally am. So yeah. No, and chat. This also occurred to me since someone asked that. Do you know what else I haven't done? I haven't put up my support list on JP. So, see? Like, basically the few amounts of, like, free time I actually have, like, I'm hanging on by a thread. That's the easiest example I can give you, is that I am just barely hanging on by a thread. And part of that is real life. Part of that is also like between the two servers, FGO has been doing a ton of stuff. Which, I mean, to a degree, like as a content creator, it's not a bad thing. I vastly prefer having stuff to talk about and being able to, like, you know, discuss the future of the game rather than being like, oh, bro, I don't know what they're going to do next. Why haven't they done this? Why haven't they done that we kind of went through for a long period of time. So didn't want to comp this node, some else than it is. I mean, that's fine. The only reason I'm comping this node is because of what's in my backline. I'm willing to bet she can still kill. Yep, especially with that crit. Holy shit, I forgot to change the supports. See, there you go. Back to work, no problem. Later, Cog. Thank you for hanging out, buddy. Being a JP player only must be really tough. Being a JP player only must be tough. Kind of, right? Like, I'm sure if you're playing JP, you're used to it, and you just don't know what's up next, and that is what that is. I consider buying Fragment 2004 if I have every meta support and didn't use anything but Plug and Atlas for the past year. Yeah. Because if you have every meta support, then using something like Fragment 2004 is going to stop you from having to use Plug Suit a bunch. It'll actually let you bond up some of your backline easier as well. So sometimes getting away with a better Mystic Code is a good thing. Things stabilize for you like they do every year. Honestly, that's what I'm worried about, Phoenix, is I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, then I think that's the biggest like detriment to my mental state at the moment. Argument is buying bond grails every month. I mean, sure, you can do that. But I'm also going to tell you that as long as you have enough bond grails to make it to the huge handout of them next year, that like you're not going to need to buy bond grails for like another like 2 years after that at least. Pulling for Alice? No, I'm probably not going to pull for Alice. Like the biggest issue with something like that is I don't know anything about the character, and I'm fresh out of courts. So Aoko took me to pity, so I didn't really have anything. I would essentially just have to like just start buying packets in order to roll for her. And I would prefer not to do that. She has a collab unit, which kind of sucks in that regard, that the collab units often do not come back around very frequently, but she'll get another banner, and I'm sure of it. So if she is really good, I'll try to get it. Sitting on pity, waiting for Alice. Mm-hmm. It was Aufko. Mm-hmm. Draco is the hard try collab anyways. Listen, I'm telling you guys, I predict it, okay? This is not the biggest brain of predictions, but it is absolutely one that you all should make, especially if you've been playing JP historically. You're getting a Draco banner in less than a month. That is the prediction. It's that simple. I truly believe this to be true. And I think the obvious 143, fuck. I believe the obvious reason for why is simply that that like they will have gotten the majority of people to actually spend their courts here. So I think they're going to pull that out, and she's either going to be the download campaign banner, or she is going to be like right after the download campaign, assuming we get 30 million here, and that like you're gonna kind of get like just this wombo combo of units and then Draco, and everyone's gonna throw their hands up and go, what the hell? You get MP5 Draco, she drops during this collab. I would like to. We'll see. Yang hasn't had another banner after this one. Kind of crazy. It's not that wild, but yeah, like I don't get me wrong. I'm sure Yang will have another banner too. If you're saving for Draco, then you're Gigabrain. You're either Giga Brain or Smooth Brain, and only time will tell. Hold on, do we have limited time missions that I've been forsaking? Looks like I did them all. Okay, and then let's go dig me some diggy hole. You can see I don't care. It's just about bulking for me. The only thing I actually somewhat want out of this is the oh god damn it, is the seashells. God, my brain. I have a feeling I know who song requested this. Let me double check. Yep. Good old ELO. Okay, there we go. Now we're capped out. Grab the rest of the Dragon Reverse scales. Start grabbing the bells. Grab the rest of those. This is weird. My silver's gonna complete faster than anything else. We're gonna start there. We should still have, what, 10 days left in this event? And chat, we're probably going to have some dead time coming up. Because we should be getting pre-campaigns for Trom, should be the next thing. There are no other Nobukatsu Anning FP spam event? Yeah, there's another one. You miss about having a fresh account? Nothing. It's fun to play FGO in the early portions and like have that struggle, but like after you've played the game a long time, you kind of just want the game to be easy, and you just go like, all right, cool, I don't miss any of those times. Perfect time for LB3 stuff, but they delayed that so far. Yeah. Those podquests during that. It's weird because they don't really need to be faster on NA, so I don't really know if they're going to try to keep accelerating or if they're just going to kind of go with what they have. New players with infinite stamina and blue apples. Sure, infinite stamina and blue apples, but none of the seedlings by which to make blue apples. Remember, chat, you only got given seedlings for the amount of story chapters you've done. So if you're a new player and you haven't done a lot of story, you don't have a lot of saplings. But that being said, yeah, I mean, it's still a better situation than they used to be in. If Trom isn't week 3 of this event, I'd be surprised. No, I would actually be surprised if it is. They've done none of the signaling, and there's again, chat, you're on what, like 10 days remaining? So that would mean literally you're getting Trom in 3 days. I don't see that happening. The pre-release? Maybe the pre-release. What the heck? Low-key want those fangs, but like I'm gonna keep taking these LB7 mats for right now. At least to 300. Oh yeah, I did buy the CE from the event. It's just the damage CE as far as I know. The art's great though. Well, keep in mind too, there was quite a bit of quote unquote pre-release. It was a multi-stage campaign. So yes, they might want to get started soon, but you're still gonna have some dead time, chat. My God, my inventory was so full that was like 35 slots. Greek pre-release, yeah. And so the thing is, if you don't get the pre-release in week 3, then you know you're in for 2 dead weeks on an A. And I don't think that's crazy of them to do, right? Like I said, we are already ahead of JP, and they technically don't need to be ahead. They literally can just shift one of the events backward. So it is what it is. I'm just gonna say, like, it's not that surprising if they want to get a little bit more ahead for buffer, but they also don't really need to. Chat, I will not be spoiling you, so don't worry about that. Can we get in a summer in July or August? In a summer in July or August? Probably still gonna be August. Because, like, again, they'll have shoved something at least behind summer or behind anniversary. It'll depend, really. Like, you'll probably get it earlier than expected, but not by much. Maybe like a week or 2. Ugh. 6.5 story when? That's 6.5 story is probably going to come out like mid to late May, and I'm going to assume late May. And then we should have, like, all of June should be Hikinden, and then we'll have anniversary. Yeah, the Oku's a main interlude though, so like they can overrun it if they need to. The red map did say Hikinden event is in early June for what it's worth. Yep. Yeah. I mean, but keep in mind, early June is the first like 10 days of June, so early June can literally be June 10th. You also have yeah, LB3 Road to 7. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think they'll probably just overlap that with one of the pre-release campaigns. God, what the hell am I fighting here? I have no freaking clue. Story has been wild on JP. Actually, I think I can ascend him more, but I basically just keep throwing in bonus units. Yep. I'm getting really tired of JP players complaining about Mahoyu spoiling a sequel story Nasu is probably never getting to writing. I don't mind people complaining about spoilers. I just find it hypocritical for Twitter to complain at all about spoilers when Twitter is usually the chief, like, origin of spoilers. So that's my only issue there. Fudge nuggets. Damage cut. Either 10 times defense or 10 times damage cut, and I'm not sure which, and the significance does matter. Oh, wait, hold on. Do I actually have Sono G's cards? Yeah, consider this a preview for the review here, chat. I mean, I could, well... Guess the question is really whether or not he kills, and this is only NP1 of a welfare. Wait a minute. Huh? Wait. Oh, right, it's delayed. Fuck. I totally forgot it's delayed. I was sitting there, it's like, why didn't it change his cards? Freaking Dragon Core usage got me going. There you go. Nobody ever expects Sono G to just go out like that. Aha! It is your next sacrifice, Space Ishtar. Damatte. Why is that so much louder, chat? There we go. Dead times mean I could work on skill ups and rank ups. Yeah, I think that's a-okay to do as well. Oh my god, we still didn't bar break. That drain is a piece of shit. The good news is now I know she's definitely gonna NP. I feel like I'm just gonna lose it. Can you mute the music for her NP? Sure. Well, at least, like, not the in-game ones, but... You're not buying the OG Bunyan coins? No, I am. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. feel like Freud would have a lot to say about that NP. Just so much to say.
どこまで行けるか。あれね。サポートして。コンタクト。外から1。1から0へ。シフト。サイクリック。選手交代。始めましょう。そういうところよ。スキャリ。悪いけどここまでよ。咀嚼して切り裂いて。
Well, let's see.
今この辺かな。
Go with the NP. How many stacks she got? Oh, just one turn of defense up.
サポートお願いね。面白い。ディストーション。ワン、ツー、スリー。
There we go.
どう？最新の魔法使いの
Poor stun caster. No, it's fine.
できた？
Tempted to pull for Alice just for her animations alone. I mean, different strokes for different folks, I guess. Blowing up your own head is not an attractive trait to me, but you know, some people like crazy, so it's okay. She had a slight headache there. She's how I feel during taxis. Wait, what is this? Okay, sweet. She's the right amount of crazy my doctor recommended. Hey, like I said, I ain't gonna judge, chat. It's not for me. People like Van Gogh. I know. I'm aware. My only conclusion is some people are crazy. That's it. That's simple. Hooked on a feeling. I'm believing that you're in love with me. Okay, so what is today? It's Foreigners and Berserkers, so Alter Ego is the name of the game here. And derived servants / alters. Yeah, do you need like both the traits to get the extra spawns? Like the prior day was machine and Artoria face, so I took one of each. Both, yes. So then what the hell does derived servants mean? Like I'm looking at app media. And alter fills both categories, you're good? Okay, as long as it does. Actually, hold on. Before we do that. What was the 70 node? Oh shit, where was the 70 node? Here? This is gold. So wait, that's gold? Was this an all node? No, it's bronze. It's cycled back. Okay. Bronze it is. Bum ba ba. Tai Sui, where you be? Hilariously enough, you could probably Bazette this, but with extra spawns, I'd rather just go with arts. Oh, that's alter ego. Yeah. And then I need an alter on the back line. Yeah, any alter? Let me see. Yep. They're literally listing everything. Wait. Huh? They don't have made alter on this list. Is made alter not considered an alter? What the fuck? Huh? That makes no sense. I mean, it may just be that the list that they have here is the list of people that work for both. Canada's derivative, I just forgot. I mean, it's okay. I just was like, that's really weird. Actually, she's not an alter, she's a maid. Yeah, I mean that's totally correct. That's why we call her maid alter. You know, because. When does the Alice banner come out? Chat's saying the first. That would be like Wednesday. So I don't know. We'll adjust the Alice review accordingly. Because like part of the issue here is because like I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I'm doing predictive things. When like I make my schedule, I predict when I think it's going to be, rather than paying attention to the exact date that we were already given. Because I just did not have the time to look into it more. Interesting. So why does the extra spawn occur on the same wave this time around? Did they fix it? I'm beginning to wonder. Shufu kind of lanky, yep. If maid is an alter, then who's maid? Good question. Because there's no rider OG Arteria? Yeah, that's why I'm assuming it's they only showed ones that qualified for both. If I had to guess. Cashew Note had it too, did it? It might have, I just didn't pay attention. Looks like it will kill. Swear he said tapioca there. It was everyone's FP spending. Oh, I haven't spent anything on FP rolling. That's like I've barely done enough to like NP 5 or I need to do more. The banner should go through the weekend at least, so I should have more time. I'll also probably try to roll some at work because I am hoping that work calms down. That's the biggest problem I'm having right now, is that work is not calming down. And I'm about to like lose my mind on someone and be like, this shit is not important. Is Summer Marie any good? Damage wise, she's not that great, but like she can still be made to loop. She can still buff like males and stuff for star generation rate. So I'm gonna say like she's the epitome of like the token like summer waifu, where she doesn't really bring that much to the table, but you can easily make her useful. So I think that's really all it boils down to. Did you just get a drop? No, it's the 4-star CE, the experience bomb one. So like yes, but no. Living's hard to do with her in a conventional way. Yeah. But that's no different than a lot of units. She hasn't had a banner on JP since the current NA one, has she? I don't know. So chat, this is gonna sound really awful, but I'm not gonna say never ask me ever again, but like, I do not commit the banners to memory anymore because it's not very important to do so. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier. That's like, I stopped doing it when it became near impossible to commit them all to memory because JP basically started just dumping them out. So like, it used to be that the banners were very like scheduled things and you kind of knew the cadence at which they would go, and there was only like a certain number of them per year. Nowadays, chat, that number's like tripled. So it's like, it's very difficult to actually keep track of all of them. So it's like, if I don't know, just take it with a grain of salt and assume that like there's a very good reason that I don't know. I'm keeping relevant upcoming banners on a spreadsheet. Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's a lot easier to keep track of the things that you want. Same thing with me. But like I can tell you big banners. I can't tell you like, hey Cad, when was the last time this unit showed up, or like when will they get their next banner? Off the top of my head, I just don't know. I used to, which is unfortunate, but so if you don't know, you're telling us to get salty. No, if I don't know, I'm telling you to, at that point, don't use me as Google. Just like Scotty didn't know. Yep. That Fiona and me did it in her van on Sunday. Combining both servers? Yes, Gataida. I know general stuff and more specific stuff for units I care about. Yeah, and I think that's like, that's just natural for any player. I'm surprised you don't bother remembering. Like, that's like junk memory to commit. Jeez, yeah, like, it's, there's only so much I can keep in my brain, chat, and you guys know I'm a pretty good encyclopedia when it comes to the units, and even then I still have a hard time actually keeping all the units committed to memory. It's telling us he's getting old, his memory isn't what it used to be. No, I'm telling you that I'm suffering from extreme mental fatigue, and that basically it's not a good idea. Okay, I can't memorize when JP has 10 active banners. Yeah, and that's, I think that is a very easy way to understand it, is JP started doing crazy shit, like giving every single unit a banner in any given year. Or like, hey, here you go, here's a 2-day banner, rather than like the typical 2-week banner. So it's like, when that sort of stuff starts happening, it gets very difficult to keep track of it. Like, basically, there's only so much the human brain can commit to memory. So really impressed with your memory on all those 4 stars. Like I said, I try. that is one that I actually try. I try to like keep that up to date. Not only because it helps me help you, but also because it does make me a better player. Very quickly, I can, usually determine like what I'm missing or what I'm needing in any given situation. And there's very frequent times where it's like, oh god, if only I had someone who was this class that did this, and I can just be like, and just go like, okay, that one. So it's nice to have that like Rolodex in your head of units, but it's difficult to maintain. Only Cat had Edison for a specific CQ. What are you talking about?
Yo. 」 「
What are you talking about, chat? Thought you hated him? No, I've never hated him. I told you I have him on JP. I just don't have him on an A. The lion sleeps tonight. Yes. Yeah, so chat, we have the Sono G to review. I need to put this in the actual stream title because I keep forgetting. I was like, oh man, there's something else I need to do today. Yeah, 4-star ticket. So you just go ahead and put that in there, and then people will know it's there, and then I'll also remember it because I'll see it in the stream title myself. What annoys me is that Holmes is coming up in Trom and hasn't been back except since for Lucky Bags. Didn't NA get him on a non-Lucky Bag banner though? I could have sworn we had like an extra banner for him, but maybe not. I honest to God, like I rolled Holmes like two years ago, I think, and I haven't like really thought about him too much since. No, I forgot some servants even exist. Yeah. Like Huang Fei Hu or Keisuke. Chat, how many of y'all remember Keisuke? This is a Keisuke check right now. How many of you remember him? What's his class? What does he do? What card type is he? Here we go. Caster quick, yes. I think you're confusing Keisuke with Alice, but don't ask me about the skills though. Yeah. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like off the top of my head, I can't tell you Keisuke skills. He's definitely one of those. Like I do remember being disappointed in them. I do remember thinking that even as a devoted Shinsengumi buffer, that Nobukatsu basically had a better, more synergistic kit for buffing Nobus than Keisuke had for buffing Shinsengumi. But is it bad that I remember them? No. I think especially if it comes up, because this is the one that I've brought up very frequently for people, that like Keisuke is the guy that like everybody forgets about. So I'm sure it gets talked about to some degree. Okay, now chat, who's Wang Fei Hu? What class is he? What card type is he? Is he single target or AoE? There you go, Astral got it, okay. What about Huyan Zhou? Now, Huyan, I'm sure people remember because Huyan is at least hot, right? Like, and I'm sure to some degree that may be the reason people remember like someone like Keisuke or Huang, but like, it just is what it is. Okay, now what about Ilya Assassin chat? Chat is thinking. Chat.exe has stopped working. There you go. Yes, Kashin. She's from the Ilya event, so I call her Ilya Assassin. Now that's bullying. See, I'm just saying. What was Lee's other class? You're talking about Assassin and Lancer. Keisuke is a lost cause, yeah. My brain stopped when he said Ilya Assassin. Good, that was the intention. I couldn't process it and had to reboot. I could tell. Only Avalon like picked up on that and like said anything. Everybody else just like chat just stopped. Chat was like, what does he mean? What does he mean, Ilya assassin? My brain had a blue screen of death when you said that. Yep. Cad trying to gaslight servants into existence. Am I gaslighting the servant or am I gaslighting chat? And I want you guys to understand I'm doing this on like 5% mental power right now, so. Okay, let's do the Sono G review, and then we're gonna do the 4-star ticket pick after that. Okay, let me just turn that down. Yeah, see chat? Shizuki Sojiro. I have seen this man's name spelled like so many different ways in the past week that it's like, it's wild to me. Sojiro? I've even seen it with a Y in it as well. So it's like, we're calling him Sono G just to avoid having to call him anything else. Like, period. End of story. Not gonna lie, I had no idea who you were talking about when you said Sono G. Yeah. Shizuki Sojiro. Oh, maybe I should do this entire review in my Shogun voice. Shizuki Sojiro. He is a very good berserker. No, it's probably gonna get called racist, so I won't do it. But still. Let me think. He's a weird one, especially in terms of his kit, because we can definitely... Oh, did I actually get rid of the Black Grail one? Shit. I literally had it pulled up for chat earlier in the stream. I actually closed it out. Is he is, by the way, the only unit above 50% death rate, right? Because I said that the other day, and I believe he is, but I'm not entirely 100% certain. I'm going to say yes, but not sure. Yeah. Khadroth called him bland. Did I? I mean, he's just your stereotypical average shonen protagonist. There's nothing wrong with that, though. Like, chat, behold abs. Okay. What if we don't review Sono G and we just review his abs? There's more, actually. I found a list. Okay. Who else is also above 50%? I think I called him just a dude last stream. He is just a dude. Review his Hot Springs cutscene. Why would I when I could instead have a female protagonist and review apparently the fact that you get both, I think it's Alice and Aoko in the hot spring with you? Like, if you have a male protagonist in this event, you get screwed. Sent a list. Actually curious about this. How instant death works. Oh, I'm so tempted to read that, but like... I'm so tempted to read that. Okay, he's not. Wow, there's way more than I thought. God, I must have like revisionist memory. I just like do not remember any of this, but I suppose it kind of makes sense because if you look, almost all of these, with the exception of like Musashi Berserker there, Izo there, Li Shu in there, just about everybody else is like early units added to the game. Looks like Sei is also very high as well. Which actually, yeah, I do remember saying that about Sei as well. So definitely an interesting thing. But that would mean, okay, so it's a list of current NA servants. So there may be others, but yeah, this list gets long. There you go, chat. Gotta go with the moon cancers. Damn, even they even cursed Janako by giving her the highest death rate amongst moon cancers, pretty much. Fuck, man. You can't do that to her. Honey Lake's not bad. Oh, Chad, I can stop recommending Aerial Drive. I can literally just start talking about cranking with you guys. Because now you guys are all in the cranking era. First day of filming. Don't give me that shit. How you doing? Thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate it. Evelyn, you didn't give me NP refund numbers. Let's see. Actually, not bad. Okay. Let me real quick familiarize myself one more time here, chat, because, yep. Oh, right. This skill's fucky. Doesn't this display and work just like Ace's attack up skill does? No, chat. You're once again assuming the wrong thing. I'm only talking about this. I 100% know how that works. I'm only talking about this. Yeah, obviously. Paragraph for a skill name? Pretty much. I mean, all of his are a paragraph, so it is what it is. Yeah, that's such a nice passive, too. Yep. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure there was nothing I was missing. I call them skill 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. I mean, that's what I normally call them. I don't usually learn the name of skills. Usually. I mean, like, obviously there's skills that I will call by their icon. So, like, I'll call this often a tricolor buff. You'll see me call, like, you know, this like, I actually don't know what I refer to this as, just a dual buff, basically. But, like, essentially, that you usually can call things by it. So that's why, like, I'll be like, oh, like, that's a mana burst, that's a quick up, that's a arts up. But it's like, specifically, I'll call Buster up a mana burst, because so many of the early game Buster ups were just mana burst, was all they were. And that's where, like, that comes from. Yep, no problem, King. Okay. Good luck with recording. Thank you, Andrew. Chat, by the way, should I keep my hair long? Or should I, like, cut it all off? Because, like, my hair is getting, like, really long. Like, I don't know if you can see how long that is, but it's getting very long. And I, for some odd reason, want to know chat's opinion on my hair. Cad bald? Yes, cad bald. My hairline hasn't gone backwards since, like, I was a child, but sure, cad bald. Have I tried bald before? No, I never have. If it's not shoulder length, it's not long. Listen. Listen. What do you think I am? For me, chat, my hair is normally like that long. So having it be like instead that long is like a thing. And I don't know if you could see it. That's what I was saying. It's like it's basically like full head length or width, or rather. My hair has been past my shoulders. Understandable. See, like this is my first time ever growing it out. Get a standard army haircut, but I'm not in the army. Was forced to try bald when I got gum stuck in my hair as a kid. Ugh. That makes a great gif. What, this? Let it grow? Yeah, but Chad, I would like to start dating soon. And like, I feel like women are going to look at my hair and they're going to be like, ew. But I don't know. I guess I need the opinion of women on that one. Why am I asking chat? Anyways. There were preschoolers in my class that had to go bald due to lice. Ew, no. Get a cut to line it up from time to time. That's kind of what I need to do. I'm probably going to go either this week or next week to the girl that cuts my hair and see if I can, like, at minimum be like, hey, look, just shape it up or something like that. And if you look clean, you look attractive. That I agree with. We're all girls. What do you mean? Chat, this is the internet. Until one of you physically proves in some way, shape, or form that you're actually a girl, you're all guys. In my eyes. That's how I treat all of you. And even if you can prove that you're a girl, you're still a dude. Because dude is a gender neutral term. Half of chat is girls? No. Do booba? No. I'm not asking for girls to out themselves. I'm just saying I literally just treat everybody the same and I don't care who the fuck you are. I treat everybody based off how they act. A girl is a guy in real life? Exactly. Now you're on to something. Cat's demographic data suggests that typically everyone here is male. No, I mean, I think I do have a higher than average percentage of females, but that higher than average is like, you know, a couple percent. It's not big. I feel like most like average gamer streams usually get somewhere in the realm of like 6% females, and I usually have about like 10%. But that's like nothing, right? And I don't know if that's like maybe just the makeup of FGO in general. Are you also getting a tattoo? Dating and whaling will be hard. Why? Chat, I have a big brain for you right now. Dating is whaling. And in the same degree, you're hoping to catch an SSR. These are life lessons right here. Just understand that, like, sometimes you get spooked. Women are nothing but servants. I get it. No, that is not what I said. Oh my god. I can confirm my wallet hurts even today. Yep. That is truly next level with his wisdom. Chat, I only know these things because I've had to go through these things. So, thing can be said from a woman's point of view. Oh, absolutely. This is not a like one-way street here. Finding a good man-woman is like finding an SSR. Yeah, and you hope that that one's good enough and that you can grail them, right? Because again, grailing is this game's version of just putting a ring on it. Women in chat don't kill me. Yeah, there you go. See, it's not. Look, I don't have to worry about it. I always conduct myself well around women, but chat, the things that you say, that's your own problem. Would I date, say, Like, say, Shonagon? No. Anyways, I had to think about that one a little bit. Say is too zoomer for me. Yeah, like, I'm gonna be real with you. The problem that I have with Say isn't that she's happy-go-lucky, it's that she also has a mean streak in her. And if she didn't have that mean streak, then happy-go-lucky is perfectly fine and endearing. But having both of those things makes me go, no. Say's your best friend more than anything. Exactly. Anyways, let's get started. I keep delaying the inevitable. Okay. Hey guys, my name's Khadroth, and today we're going to be going over with you guys Shizuki Sojiro. We're just going to call him Sono G because I'm not super familiar with the MiHoYo franchise. And again, we obviously have the collab going on right now in FGO, but I'm going to be talking to you about Sojiro's actual kit and NP here. So Sono G, as we're going to call him again, is going to be our welfare unit for the collab. He's a single target Buster based Berserker, and you're going to get obviously all 5 copies from that. But he also has some interesting sort of new additions added with his kit. Things that we're kind of seeing coming to us with the MiHoYo collab that we haven't really had in the game before. We've had Aoko with obviously AoE attacks. We know we're getting Alice, and she also has some interesting stuff. And Sono G here himself has some interesting things as well. So, given the fact that he is a single target Berserker, he's obviously going to have some stiff competition even from other welfares, but there is going to be a reason to use him as opposed to, say, any other Berserker, and we're going to talk about that as we go in. So, needless to say, you guys are naturally not going to want to miss him, and you're going to want to get all 5 copies from the event when it does roll around either on NA or while it's active for you guys here on JP. Starting off with his attack power, you can see he's actually knocking on the door to 10k. This is good attack power. This is what we like to see. Definitely something that is a feather in his cap, because obviously it's very rare to see any unit really amongst the 4 stars at 10k, and those that do are widely considered to be very good on attack regardless. So seeing him at 9.9, definitely not a bad thing. His HP value here at about 10k, though, is rather anemic. But again, this is sort of to be expected. He is a squishy Berserker, and realistically speaking, he does at least have something in his kit to help out with this. So it's not the hugest of concerns, but it is a concern, and it is something that you might want to address either by virtue of throwing foes on him, maybe even gold foes if you like him that much, or again, just trying to give him a BVC or something like that, try and bulk him up a little bit. Looking further down the list here, we can see he's man attributed. He has star absorption of 10, which is right on the average for Berserkers. It's trash, and everybody knows it. It's always hard to soak stars to a Berserker. He has star generation rate of 4.9, a little bit under the average, and an NP charge attack rate of exactly 0.5. Now, normally we actually see Berserkers have far more NP charge than this, and the reason why is usually because they have what we like to call the Gorilla deck, but you can see down there at the very bottom of the screen that he's actually got 2 Buster, 2 Arts, so that is going to be one of the factors in consideration here, but it's not the whole story, and I'll talk to you guys about that when we get to the actual kit. Still, don't be super concerned about this number, because again, the whole reason that a lot of Berserkers have a higher number is because they usually only have a singular arts card, so this is still perfectly fine for him to have this. His MP charge defense is the absolutely higher than normal 5% here. It's really good. Obviously, you don't want your Berserker to take damage, but when they do, this means that 5% basically is the amount he's going to charge for every attack, every hit that he receives. Definitely a really, really nice thing. His death rate is somewhat of a meme. I'm not sure if it's the highest in the game, but it is definitely very high and not something you're going to want to take against anything that actually can death proc, especially because his unique mechanic for survival will not prevent death procs, and I'm going to talk about that more in a minute as well. His alignment is neutral balanced. This is certainly good for him and not being exploited for niche damage, but definitely not the best for trying to get buffed by your allies, because neutral balanced is still a relatively rare sort of combination, especially in terms of trying to get a skill that actually affects them. His gender here is obviously male. He's got the basic traits of Inima Elish Nullification. So again, rather odd. He is one of the rare exceptions to Gil's extra damage attack, especially given the fact that he's not star traded and is instead man attributed. But certainly he has this, and it's going to be an interesting thing, but ultimately at the end of the day, he's still only got a little bit of health, and even without the extra perk from more damage, Gil's still likely to kill him if he gets a full-blown NP off on him. He does have Hominide Servant. He is humanoid. He's also a living human, a loved one, aka Brynhilder's beloved, a servant, the Seven Knights Servant, which is basically Draco's trait. And again, that's just going to kind of wrap everything up. So not too much there to really write home about in terms of exploitable traits against him, but still, he is a berserker, and he does have at least a couple of the standard ones, so nothing too much to be hard to exploit if you're facing him. So again, taking a look at his overall deck here, you guys can see he's got the double buster, double arts like I talked about. He's got a singular quick card. So like I said, most berserkers usually end up having a third buster card. He ends up getting a second arts one to actually help him out. And the hit counts are all either average in the case of the arts and the buster and the extra, or even above average in the case of the quick there being at a 4 hit amount. Still, don't have too much to say about it just yet. Talking about his active skills here, this first one is going to be basically his survival skill. So you can see he will increase his own arts performance and buster performance for 3 turns by 20% each. This definitely does not scale very well. It's a base of 10%, so you're not getting a ton out of leveling this skill. But really what you're going to be probably trying to focus on more is just, obviously getting however much steroid you can out of this, but also just really trying to get that cooldown lowered. And the reason why is going to be that he grants himself death evasion for 5 times 3 turns. To make this clear for you guys, death evasion means that any attack that would otherwise kill him outright, that is, it would deal lethal damage to him, will basically be reversed. It will undo it. It will not, in fact, kill him. So it is a very powerful tool. You can think of it almost as a 5 times guts, if you will, in a really weird way. So it's only 5 times over 3 turns. It's not got full-blown uptime, but obviously getting this down to a 6-turn cooldown would be really ideal for it. Still, if you don't want to lower it, it's not the end of the world, but it is a really interesting thing. Now, to denote, there are a couple of exceptions to this. One, even though it says death evasion, death proc is an exception. So if some enemy tries to actually cast death on him, he will die, because death does not deal damage. It just straight up is a yes or no check. And again, as a result, the mechanic about it dealing lethal damage to him will just not come into play. Also, passive sources of damage also will not trigger this. So if he is burning or cursed or whatever, any sort of ailment on him will continue to damage him and will kill him. So be very careful about that, because, well, obviously this can prevent him from getting beaten to death. It does mean that if he were to, say, be beaten to death but also have curse on him, he would not die from the enemy's attacks, but then would die at the end of the turn when the curse actually took effect. So be very careful about that, because again, you just have to understand what does and doesn't work here. And again, you can see they basically actually talk about this, that it can't prevent things like insta-kill, and basically ailment debuffs will happen. So the cool part, and I do like this, Fandom actually denotes this is stackable with a normal evasion, because he's not actually using evasion. The icon is similar, but it's not the exact same. It is not the same buff. So they do not take up the same ID, and therefore they are not unique with each other, and so they can actually be combined. Just keep in mind that, again, anything that can kill him will. So, for instance, to give you an example, if Sono G was basically sitting at 4,000 remaining health, and something that dealt 5,000 health hit him, he would not die from it. But if something dealt 3,000 damage to him, yeah, he'd get reduced down to 1,000. So it's just going to make it more and more likely eventually that he actually can be hit to death. So you do have to be a little bit careful with how you employ this, but this could, again, be a very, very powerful skill. And again, the emphasis on it not working on instant death is key because that's going to come up again later, and we're going to talk about that. So now with his second skill here, you get basically a really interesting charge skills. One of the more interesting charge skills that we've ever seen in FGO. So you can see it starts out and says that it multiplies the value of the NP gauge. And the amount is base 50%, but scales all the way up to 100%. So what does this mean? Basically, at 100% at rank 10, this means that any amount of charge that Sono G has on him, he will double. If it's at 50%, he would only increase it by 50%. So let's say if you had it at the base rank and you had 20% charge, he's only going to get 10% charge from that then. And so that would only increase him up to 30. But if you had it at the max rank over here for the 100% increase, 20% charge would go up to 40%. And this is an interesting thing because it doesn't have to be external charge or anything like that. It can literally be any amount that he has. Basically, however much his gauge reads is however much he will double. So this is very powerful, as it means that if you can get his gauge up to 50% from some combination of effects, he can immediately pop this, double the amount of charge, and then boom, he's fully charged. So he will literally get another 50% off that at that point, and then there you go. You can fire off his NP. This is a really, really powerful skill. And it doesn't have to stop there because he is a welfare and you will be getting all 5 copies of him. The overcharge gauge will actually be able to be increased all the way up to 300%. So in theory, you could have 150% charge on him, pop the skill, and get all the way to 300%. So it is an interesting thing to think about. There would be some interesting applications with regards to it, but the vast majority of people are going to utilize this in such a way that they are just going to get to their first NP at 100%. Still, though, really, really nice in that regard. You can see he increases his own critical damage for 3 turns as well on top of this. It is a base of 25%. And then, sort of like with Ace's skill, where the less health that she has, the more attack ups she gets, you're going to get the same effect here with him. The less health that he has, the more crit damage will increase by. So again, it's 25% for each one. These all scale based off the leveling of the skill. So this is definitely going to be the skill. If you have to lure anything on Sono G, this is going to be the one you're going to want to lure. Because not only is it a charge skill, but it's also going to be just a ton of compounding, basically, crit damage up. So utilizing something like Black Grail on him that's going to make him take damage over time as well can also just very easily get him to one of these thresholds, particularly the first one, especially since he doesn't have a whole lot of health. In that regard, maybe thinking about foeing him might be better to not foe him, just depending on what you're trying to do. At least maybe not for HP reasons. But still, it's totally up to you. I'm not going to say that's going to be a make or break type of thing. It could just make hitting the percentages easier. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I would still say go ahead and foe him just so he doesn't get beaten to death as easy. But still, this is all going to be on a 6-turn cooldown. And again, it is relatively interesting just to show you guys the notes here. They're talking about the charge skill and kind of how it works. So 50 would become 100 at rank 10. 100 would become 200, and 150 would become 300, like we already mentioned. So definitely a very interesting charge skill. We get to his third skill here. And I've heard a lot about this third skill because it's also fairly strong. The way to think about this is, if you remember Artoria's Dragon Core skill, where she will transform all of her cards that she has currently in the hand to Buster. The exact same thing with Sono G, only he can pick which card type he wants to transfer all of his cards to. So he can make all of his cards quick, he can make all of his cards arts, and he can make all of his cards Buster. The quirk here, though, is that while this is better than Dragon Core because you can pick which card type you get, it's worse than Dragon Core because it has a delayed self-buff for 1 turn. Dragon Core happens instantly the second you press the skill. This, unfortunately, is going to require you to card count some. So that is to say, you kind of need to know what card Sono G is going to be getting on the next turn. If you're curious about that, I do have a video talking about carding explained and the mechanics involving carding. But needless to say, TLDR, you've got at least a 3-turn cadence that you normally have. And all of the sort of 15 cards that should be available to you, obviously less if you're in a solo environment or something like that. But if you're in a standard sort of like, 3 ally type of setup there, including Sono G, that's going to be 15 cards over a 3-turn cadence. So that means you're going to have to kind of count. And the worst part about this is that you might be on a turn where you're at the end of the 3-turn cadence, but you would really like to pop this to have it available in the next turn. You might just have to do it and roll the dice, because again, at the beginning of each 3-turn cadence, the cards are shuffled again, so you have no idea where it will end up. So this is probably best used at the end of the 3-turn cadence, but it could obviously just be a situation where you have to use it early. Still, even with that in mind, remember there are things that can mess up your card counting, particularly death. Anytime a ally dies on you, you're not going to have the ability to count the cards, because they're going to get reshuffled as a new 3-turn cadence will start whenever a new ally enters the field like that. So that is a problem that you're going to have, is trying to predict this. That's going to make it a skill that, again, your mileage might vary on. If you're a more attentive player, you're going to get a lot of use out of this and a lot of like powerful use out of it. If you're a less attentive player, you can certainly still get some benefit to it, but it may not benefit you as much if you keep popping it on the wrong turns and not getting his cards on the next one. So, the interesting thing about this is it only lasts for the next turn, and as a result, it is just a sort of one and done type thing. And again, you can see it's also going to increase the selected command card's performance for 1 turn after 1 turn. So if you choose to, say, switch all of the cards to quick, you will get a 30% quick up at rank 10. If you switch them all to arts, you'll get a 30% arts up for them. And if you switch it all to buster, you'll get a 30% buster up. With this in mind, given the fact that he is a buster NP, naturally switching it to all buster makes the most sense. Though you might be in a weird spot where you would maybe go, hey, maybe I need all of the like arts cards to try to get to an NP. And with that in mind, given the fact that you could get a 30% arts here, you could also have 20% arts from the first skill. And he has at least 2 arts cards that are 3-hit, kind of puts this a little bit more into perspective for the NP gain rate. That is to say, he didn't get the standard like 0.8 and only got 0.5 because they knew he'd have the ability to change all of these potentially into arts cards. And so I think they just said, you know what? No, we don't want him to have better charge than this, better NP gain than this. Because again, it would obviously be pretty cracked if he could do all of that. So that's definitely going to be the interesting aspect to this third skill, is the fact that it's a very malleable skill. I'm going to say for the most part, you're probably only going to want to use arts or buster at the moment, but hey, maybe you can find a niche example of where triple quick might be a really good idea to kind of get more stars or something for a follow-up turn. Still, it is what it is, and I do recommend the arts or the buster. Now let's go ahead and look at his passive skills. So Sono G ends up having the critical star generation rate by 10%. Definitely nothing too much to write home about. It's not bad, but again, he is a berserker. He's also got knowledge of the Sowa that's going to increase his own critical attack chance resistance by 10%. This is low-key a good thing. You really don't want your squishy berserkers getting hit at all, let alone crit. So reducing the enemy's ability to actually land a crit on him is always going to be a nice thing. And then the final one, and probably the most cracked of all of them here, the Good Luck Charm EX. It's going to grant him Terror, Confusion, and Skill Seal debuff immunity. I actually really like that fandom put this in here, because I think for some people sometimes it's confusing as to the difference between something like, say, Terror or Stun, or Confusion or Skill Seal. So at least they kind of made it clear as to which one's which. But still, yes, he is straight up just immune to those effects, which is really nice. It's going to make it very difficult to lock him down and stop him, though he could still be NP sealed. He could still be actually stunned or even like petrified or something like that. So be careful with it. Don't assume that this is just total, like, again, stun immunity or something like that. Taking a look at his append skills here, the easy recommendation that I'm going to give you is mana loading. Because again, you are going to get all of his coins from the event, so you should have the capability of unlocking all of his appends, unless, you're really trying to like grail him to 120 or something like that and you need the coins otherwise. But otherwise, it should be really easy for you to actually get this done. And the reason that I'm going to recommend mana loading is because remember that thing that we talked about with the second skill and that he doubles any amount of charge? Yeah, that also applies to things like mana loading. So right here, right off the bat, this means that have his mana loading lowered, his charge skill is a minimum of a 40% charge basically at right there off the bat. So really, really good. So you're just going to be able to immediately double up that 20%, get another 20% right there, and be at 40. So again, you could do this. You could stack this with things like a 30% C in an event that you maybe don't have MLB yet, and then boom, right there, those two things alone would be enough to secure it. Or maybe you have something like a Black Grail on him, you give him his mana loading here, and you maybe find a way to like overflow or get him 30% charge some other way, and that alone would be enough to actually get him to double it all up at 50% there and get to full. So again, mana loading is going to be my first recommendation. His third skill is the typical sort of par for the course issue with Berserkers, and that's that it can be useful, but only if you're facing the right class and only if you're really having to card. Depending on how you choose to use him, either as a challenge unit or maybe just as a very solid single target unit, this may or may not be a good thing for you. I'm going to tell you that this is probably the weakest of the three Appends. It is anti-cast or critical attack chance resistance, so at least it's one of the 7 main classes. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is okay, but I would not recommend necessarily using the coins if there's any doubt over whether or not you'll have enough for your plans. And the first Append here is this extra attack finesse. This is obviously nice, but there's sort of another issue with that, and that may be that Sono G doesn't get a lot of extra attacks. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's go look at his NP. So as we take a look at his NP, you can see it's a one-hit Buster NP. It's going to ignore invincibility for 1 turn, activating first, and it's basically going to ignore damage cut for 1 turn. This is specifically damage cut. Fandom did not get this wrong. We did go look at the actual coding for it. It's really oddly worded, but yes, it is not defense ignore. It is specifically ignoring damage cut. It is what it is. We don't often face a ton of really powerful damage cuts in the game, but at least usually when the enemy has it, it usually is a robust one. So not a bad thing for him to actually have. He then deal damage to one enemy, and then basically deals super effective damage to any enemy with a defense up status. This one is the all-encompassing one. So again, any enemy that actually has defense, he's going to get super effective damage against. That is going to be a very nice modifier. Obviously, it'll cut his damage down some, but hey, there you go. He's sort of countering it with true super effective damage. The unfortunate side of this, or fortunate, depending on how you want to look at it, is that after all of this is said and done, he'll then unalive himself. And the whole reason why is because, again, he's kind of going to be like Mandricardo or a single target version of a Rash, if you want to think about it this way. Unlike Mandricardo, though, he doesn't require you to get to 50% of his health in order to actually trigger this effect. So, it's kind of nice. This just means that we actually have a single target that can nuke something and, get the heck out of dodge. So, this is a very, very nice effect. The key thing to denote here is remember that first skill that we said, doesn't get prevented or basically won't prevent death proc from killing him? Yeah, same thing with Sacrifice. It's not going to prevent it from killing him. So you have to be a little bit careful depending on if you want to use him long term or not. And this is also why you're probably not going to be seeing too many extra attacks on Sono G. If you are carding with him a bunch, you will. But again, at the end of the day, if you're just kind of using him as a sort of NP in a cloud of dust type of unit, yeah, he's not going to live long enough to actually see the extra attack. So it doesn't matter how much you card with him. Just keep in mind, you may want to pre-card an NP that you're about to pull off, because if you're going to be using his cards and he kills himself, you're not going to be using those cards after he kills himself. The good news is, just like with a Rash or Qingong or something like that, Guts can prevent this. So that is going to be your one solution to this quote-unquote problem. Again, I say quote-unquote problem because for some of you, this may be the actual strategy that you're trying to employ, and it may be the thing that you're trying to do the best with him, is just actually have him take out an enemy and rotate the party to help you out and help you get a new unit into the front line. But if you wanted to stop it for some reason, like maybe getting off another NP with him or something like that, you absolutely could do it. You would just need to actually get a source of guts on him, and that would actually prevent it. Again, you don't really have to read too much about the note here. It's just kind of elaborating on what I just already said. But You can see his damage is the normal typical single target buster scaling there, and he does actually have a damage increasing overcharge that increases his own attack for 1 turn activating first. This means that it will be triggered by the NP and it will last for the duration of that turn, but after that it's gone, so it's not a delayed effect like, his third skill is. Still, it is basically a damage dealing one, and it does actually increase, so maybe utilizing that charge skill to actually allow him to get to a higher overcharge rank might be good. You might easily be able to get him to something like 300% depending on the circumstances, so that is just going to translate into more attack. It's not going to outweigh usually things like just taking a flat out better, more damaging CE, like if you were trying to start him out with something like, say, K-Scope or something like that. Taking something like Black Grail is just always going to be more damage than taking something like K-Scope and trying to get the overcharge. But it is an interesting thing to consider that maybe if the opportunity presents itself, or you're not quite ready to kill him and you realize that you have more opportunities to gain NP, yeah, you could do that. You could maybe do it and allow him to actually get off a more powerful NP before he kills himself. Now, with that in mind, we can go ahead and talk about CE options. And I actually don't have a lot to recommend to you guys here, because the obvious choice is going to be Black Grail. Again, given the fact that his charging skill is not a true charge, but instead a double up of any existing charge, this is a really powerful mechanic, as it does allow him to very easily start from 0, and that does mean you're going to be able to get some really solid damage out of Sono G. Downside is obviously going to be that he kills himself, but hey, it is what it is, and I'm going to say that, this is still going to be sort of the ideal setup for him. Now, maybe you're trying to get to higher NP levels, or maybe you just don't have enough overflow charge in the party, or you can't really security. Something like cranking is going to be kind of your next best bet. This one's obviously going to be all attack scaling. Obviously, NA just got it. It's called first day of filming for us, but I'm still going to call it cranking because it's easier. And so cranking is still just going to be kind of that premier buster CE for a lot of people. It's basically going to give him starting charge that, again, you could double up. NP damage that might scale better with something like, say, Oberon, or just be good for you. And then buster up, that's obviously just going to be a very nice steroid to add in addition to his kit. So those two are going to be kind of my go-tos. You can obviously suggest something like Honey Lake, but he already has Invuln Pierce in his kit, so it's not a huge deal. You'd maybe only go after something like this if you really wanted the whole power mod thing. But otherwise, there's not really too much more I want to recommend in terms of craft essences for him. He's a fairly straightforward unit. There's no reason to actually over-embellish what he kind of needs to do. If you don't have those CEs, obviously you can make do with other lesser rarities of them. So just because you don't have something like Black Grail doesn't mean you can't find something like Heaven's Feel, Angel's Song, or even Dragonkin. And again, something like Cranking, if you maybe manage to miss it or don't have it later on down the line, something like Aerial Drive can be an also really good replacement for it. So there are options for him. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Sono G's buff numbers here. So this is his self buffs only. This means that no external buffs coming out from like a Mystic Code or a support or a, DE even. This is just him under his own power against a neutral target, which is kind of interesting because it's a Berserker and you kind of just know what that's going to be. But the one thing I am going to say is keep in mind that you are going to be guaranteed to get that NP5 number of him. Unless you mess up the event, you're going to be just straight up getting that. Also, keep in mind that you can utilize the delayed buff. So when you realize you're going to NP, try to pop the delayed buff so that it occurs on his turn so that he just gets more damage. Because again, remember, it does give you card type up for whatever card you pick. So utilizing that, picking Buster, there you go. And you might have to pre-card the NP still, but you would at least get the additional buff for you. Again, that's going to get you 68k damage, 68.5 actually. So really solid number still. And then you can see essentially if the enemy has defense, that is going to be his super effective niche. So right there, you're looking at 82k already. And then if you manage to time the delayed buff as well on top of the defense there, you're going to be looking at a pretty stellar 102. So really, really not bad in that regard. Just to kind of show you his sort of idealistic one-turn damage here. This is basically Sojiro with Double Coin Sky of Light, Oberon, and a level 100 Black Grail and Neo Plug Suit. You might want to use all of this on him. You might not, but we just kind of felt that it would be an interesting sort of proof of concept to see the actual damage numbers. So you can see here, turn 1 max damage, basically. This is going to get you in P5. If you did manage to get a delayed buff, this wouldn't be a 1 turn at that point, but you could at least get up to 711 there. Definitely solid numbers. The defense super effective niche at 960, and then the delayed and defense at 1,000,000. So definitely, if the enemy has defense on them, Sono G is going to be a really good, like, effective nuke, and then maybe rotation to get a better unit in or to get another support in. So really, really, really nice. That 100% charge here, not going to look at 300. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Just give you an idea about kind of where he stands in terms of one-shot damage for basically everybody else. This is going to be Kentucky Berserker. Kentucky, as you can see it in P1, is going to be dealing about 754. But obviously, at numbers like in P3 or higher, you're just outpacing Sono G entirely, even in niche there. So again, it's an interesting thing to denote. I think probably the better comparison, though, here is going to be Summer Jalter. And you can see basically Summer Jalter with 2 times Queen Skya of Light, and Oberon, level 100 Black Grail, and Neo Plug Suit as well. You're looking at 738 on the damage there, which compared to someone like Sojiro, basically is the equivalent of even still being better than his delayed buff. So at that point, you have to ask yourself, do you want to use Sojiro over someone like Summer Jalter? And the answer is probably going to lie on, do you need Sojiro to kill himself and rotate the party? If you do, Sojiro is going to be better. If you don't, Jalter's going to probably be better. Again, definitely depends on the defense number there, but it is certainly something to keep in mind. So again, I felt like this was a pretty adequate and you know, like just sort of short and compact analysis of him. I tried to hit all the high points, but let me know what you guys think about Sojiro, especially, you know, like, you know, his actual design here. He's a very interesting dude as we've seen him, and he definitely has some abs. So I'll be curious to hear you guys' thoughts, where you guys see him actually being useful. And I will see you guys for the next one, probably going to be the Alice video later this week. So again, thank you guys for watching, and good luck. Okay. Were these numbers neutral? It occurred to me, it's like, this is Berserker, they're probably not neutral. They were neutral. Wow. I'm surprised you actually did neutral numbers for a Berserker. I figured you would do at least the 1.5. Abs EX, yep. Kind of gets rid of himself, yeah. I do them always neutral if not specified. Okay. Yeah, I just figured for Berserker you probably didn't, but it's okay. Keep your hair like Dante. I just feel like women don't like men with longer hair. Maybe that's just me imagining things, but it is what it is. I will say I definitely prefer shorter hair just because it's easier to, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, basically just like maintain, right? Like when you have short hair, it's super easy to maintain. All right, let's do the 4-star ticket pick, as I've been waiting to do. Ugh. Servant design goes, they made the collab servants all very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say this. So, chat, on a scale of 1 to like best collab ever, what's your rating for the MiHoYo collab? Even for you NA people, like from what you can tell from the outside, what's your rating? Best collab ever? 42. Okay. The meaning of all life. MiHoYo is hyped because I've read the VN. Yeah. I'd say it's solid 8, if not a 9. Yeah. I'm gonna say this without even like really like judging it too harshly, depending on like other collabs and stuff like that. It is clear and apparent to me that the MiHoYo collab is a very good one. It's good not only because like the designs are well done, the story is seemingly getting people excited. it's also good from like a macro standpoint where the community feels alive again. The community feels like it's really excited and it's talking. And I think that's good. I really can't say enough about that. So to me, while I've always said like that I didn't really care that FGO was collabing with itself and doing things like the Super Bunyan event and everything, it's definitely not as exciting. It's definitely not as like newsworthy or buzzworthy. It's not like getting people hyped and getting people to really talk about it. So I think actually doing something like this that people have been waiting on is huge. And FGO isn't out of those things. It still has plenty more things that it can collab with that people will be excited about. So, honest to God, I'm very pleased with this collab. I mean, there's things I don't like about it, like again the timed limited quests. But outside of that, I think it's an interesting idea, right? And it's one of those ideas where it's like it just kind of sucks because like if you can't read Japanese, you don't necessarily know when. But again, like I think it is a very well done event so far. I also want to say that like JP has been doing good of late. We had like 2 dead weeks prior to this event, and I did point that out to people that like, you know, the current like mantra is like, oh, JP's doing so good, and I'm like, yeah, but watch as they kind of inevitably have to take a break, and they did. But the reason that taking a 2-week break there in between the collab and the prior event is not that bad is because they did good the rest of the time. Nobody cares when there's some dead time in between a bunch of good, exciting things. People care when there's too much dead time, when it's constant and it just keeps happening. And you can tell that the devs are kind of stalling and dragging things out. It doesn't feel that way on JP anymore, thankfully. So I like that. Hopefully they keep that up. My stupid self thought it was actually going to be MiHoYo collab. No, yeah, I'm sure something like that ever happens, you'll see both sides of the coin like really, really like popping off. So why does time limited quest keep starting later every day? I think it has to do with because it's happening at night on JP. And as Trub said, it's kind of a like thing. Chat, I have to go look at something here. Inner material servants, right? Yeah, there we go. Also, dear God, that background is terrifying. I did like I've seen it before. I forgot it moves. I literally forgot it moves. Chat, coins are what? 30 coins for 1 through 6, 30 coins for 7 through 9, and 120 coins for 10 onward. That's 20 coins per rank after that. Why am I not seeing Salter? There she is. Okay, so I've at least done Salter's middle of pen there. Haven't lowered the charisma yet. Nika, thank you for the 15. Hope you're doing good. Finally got my own Miss Crane. Nice. So... Yeah, can anyone tell me Salter and Lalter's next banners? For an A. Oh, there's another thing I want to look. Salter's is New Year's. Lalter has one October, November this year. Let me check. Is it Singularity Repair? Yeah. That's a potluck. Be with Jack. Ow. And Salters is New Year's. Was she solo on Raid Up for that? Or was she actually paired with an SSR? I feel like she was paired with an SSR, wasn't she? With Melt? You got Melt on that banner when you rolled it? Yeah. Yeah, when you said it, I knew it sounded familiar. So this is the issue. Like, basically, I have a couple units I could pick. And then but do I just want coins? Oh, right. I totally forgot about the CE. So this is really weird. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but these CEs are somewhat limited. These are CEs you can only get from like completing the story, right? So like literally you're given one copy. They are available in the story pool, but that's usually it. It's very rare that they're actually on Raid Up. And usually if they are, it's only with like the units that were from the Singularity. So these first couple here, all the way down to Heretical Yaga, are what you could call story locked CEs. The interesting part about it is they're fundamentally useless. So it's like if you get them, it's more for collection and no other reason. Whereas these are all newer CEs that have come out. Some of them are not. Oh, yes, necro memes. Oh. So this one's not even available anymore. And chat, behold, witness the genius of my power. No, wait for it, chat. Wait for it. Here, it's probably easier if I do it this way. Oh my god. I knew this. I knew without even looking. I was like, I can finally get rid of that shitty 4 out of 5 imaginary element that I have, and I can make it a 5 out of 5. I will straight up pick just for that reason alone, because I'm never gonna get that CE ever again. So I just said, screw it, let's go with it, because I don't really need any of the Cs. They're all 4-star Cs. Yeah, that's literally the only reason. I did it only because I knew I had that 4 out of 5, and it was bothering my like OCD. Without even having to look, I knew I had it. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's pick the 4-star. So, trying to think if there's anyone else I want to consider here. Yeah, let's go look at the Fairy Knights. I don't remember the MP levels I have on them. So we got Bouban. Okay, we're at 5. Aido Chesto. Percy, where are you at? Percy's at 5 out of 5. Okay, I actually didn't think he was. And then Barg. Am I blind? I'm blind. There she is. There's so much crap on the screen, like 4-star foe usable, that it's difficult to actually see them. Yep. Okay, so she's also in P5. I have Zenobia in P5, right? Ooh. More booty. More Daijo booty. Yeah, there's only one unit I'm missing, and it's Edison chat. It's the only unit I'm missing. Zenobia's permanent though. I know, and that's like one of the big reasons. Canis is in P5. Redman's definitely in P5. Dobrinia's not in P5 yet, I don't think, but she's also perm. Sheba. Wish they would give Sheba another buff. And Hephaestion that I only have it in P1. She does get a skill buff soon. Yeah, she gets her 30% charge, but I don't have him any story locked. Yeah. Preza King's literally the only person I don't have on this list. I literally passed him and didn't see him. God, my eyes are tuned to not look at Edison. Do I complete the list or do I go for a higher MP level? Like do I take Edison or do I go for more? I mean, I think the issue with Edison for me is that I just know that I'm not really going to use him. So it's like, complete the list, get some Sankorts also. That is true. You would get some Sankorts out of it. But I mean, like, I guess to a degree, chat, if I don't really ever see myself rolling for him, then yeah, it's like I might gain like 3 or 6 Sankorts or something like that. But like, getting a higher NP level of a unit that I want is literally saving me quartz, and not a paltry amount either, right? Like, think about that. So it's like, to a degree, it is what it is. You pick him, the meme dies, so it's a hard choice. I mean, MP2 Faker, let's go. I know, and I feel like Faker, even though she's permanent, like getting that second copy is definitely a big one. You have infinite quartz, exactly. But the other way to think about it is any quartz that I get from, like, you know, say interludes and stuff actually is less quartz that I have to spend. So Zenobia's a tempting option for you. Yeah, I mean, like, Zenobia is definitely a good one. I forget who I was advising the other day that I told him to pick Zenobia. I think it was Ash. But no, I mean, there's a lot of really good units in this list. But chat, at the end of the day, like, Edison is here. He is the only thing I don't have. But I think I go for a higher NP level because I know how I feel about Edison. I've used him enough. I know where he is good. If I really desperately needed him, I could ask somebody to put him up. It's not a huge issue for me. So I think I pick a higher NP level of somebody. And so the real question is just who. And the only like thing that's really coming to mind when I say this is basically actually getting a higher NP level of Lalter. Unbelievable. I thought you had her MP5 already. Oh, I do. I do. My Lalter's already MP5. This is the only reason I did it. It's straight up the only reason I did it. Good job, Cad. Yeah. Coins. Yes, the hidden SR coin. So the deliberation that I was doing in the calculation, I actually wrote it down, is how much more would I need to bond Lalter to be able to unlock her a pin? And chat, when I went and looked at that banner, do you know what else I saw? So there's a fun story with this. Jack is the first unit in the game that I wailed for and didn't get. Do you know how I have this one copy? Like 6 months later, when I was rolling the Camelot banner and had to go 1890 quartz deep for NP1 Lartoria, Jack showed up as a spook. So she's a permanent unit, but of all the permanent SSRs in the game, she's one of the least spooking ones for me. So, like, if I have to roll that banner for, like one more copy of Lalter and in the process get MP2 Jack, I ain't going to get upset. Because rolling one more copy of Lalter will probably come faster than bonding Lalter 2 more levels all the way up to bond 12. I could certainly do it, but like I have other units I actually need to bond in between now and then, so it's probably an easier outcome for me. You have one more minute on that final ascension art before the FBI locks the door? I mean, that's... I don't sit here and stare at Jack's ascension art, honestly. Both are on equal grounds as preference at that point. Sorry, for what? What was the question? If I pick Chiome, I can get 60 coins instead of 30. I'm 60 off for a pen. No, but you could if you got spooked by Chiome later. Congrats to the Florida team that won the Battle of Florida. There was a Battle of Florida? Yeah. But no, I mean, that's what I literally sat there and like went through the calculation and said like, all right, this is kind of what I need for Lalter. Salter's okay. I already have enough coins for her to grail her to 120, and I have her append unlocked for mana loading. Lalter, I don't have the append. And that's the big issue with Lalter. So what I'm going to go do with Lalter is I'm basically going to do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we do it on the safe one and not the unsafe one. And so now I actually have her mana loading unlocked. That's actually going to be a really good thing for me, and it's going to allow me to do more stuff. So, correct append, yes. I made sure of it. And we're also going to lock that because there's no way in hell I'm burning her. Oh, and actually, no, that was actually a good thing to show. So, chat, just FYI, do you guys see that? Kind of difficult to see, but Why not just put it in second archive? I will. Your racial passive? Monk ass. Did I miss the part where you gave Mary Anning a grail? You did miss the part where I gave Mary Anning a grail. And that was unfortunate because it was a complete and total accident. I did not mean to do this at all. It's the only non-grailed Saberface on my NA account. And purely by accident. And I find it freaking hilarious that of all the people it happened to quite literally the Saber simp. And I find that so fucking funny. I hate that I did it, but I find it so funny. Yeah, no, I straight up, like, I could not have made that shit up if I tried. Cat is a rebel without a cause. Calculated miscalculation, yeah. Accident how? I was leveling her up and I wasn't paying attention because I was distracted by watching Konosuba and talking to an artist. And so I was doing those two things at once while leveling her. And, you know, it's not every day that I level a 1-star. So, like, I was just sitting there kind of like tapping and just like not really paying much attention. And like, I looked down and I was going from like 60 to 70. And I went like, wait, how'd that happen? She's a 1-star. And I was like, oh no. I looked back and I was like, no! Is it on video? No, but you can ask the people that were in the Konosuba marathon. I literally unmuted at one point and talked about it and was like, fuck. This is a Mary Anning stream now? Yep. And just a reminder, chat, we will be doing Konosuba again tomorrow. But let me burb real quick. I just got to go switch over. We're going to play some Stellar Blade. If you guys have heard about it, you'll get to see it some here. It's a PS5 exclusive. Also, hopefully I fixed the audio messing up. Is Stellar Blade really stellar? So, my earnest opinion on this is that I did not like the opening of the game. But I do like it, like, now, right? So, the opening sucked to me, but now it's a lot better. Chat, you can hear that, right? Because I can't hear. Or are you hearing it double? Oh, so you did buy it? Yeah. Yeah, it's been good. And we're actually continuing right where we left off on Saturday. This is like story chapter right here. Yes, 2 ears? Okay. Only once? Damn, Chad only has 1 ear?
Oracle is in the presence chamber.
Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. What was that?
Looks like they built the city deep and high.
Oh! Oh, okay. Let's go. Hold on, chat. We're gonna go, like, change. Okay, so there's Artemis. She gets the Stargazer coat. I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't look that good. Looks like a trash bag she's wearing. We're gonna leave her with that one. Oh, whoops. And then he's got that. Okay, now that looks like a trash bag, though. And, like, while the other one looked like a trash bag, I feel like this is like more of a trash bag. Like he looks more like a pimp in this one. Oh, let's go. The quadruple rectangle. Sure, why not? Let's try it out. Oh, we now have glasses, chat. Anyone in chat have a fetish? Oh, that's very nice. That's just all around high quality. Yeah. That's very high quality. Is this one of the outfits that they censored, chat? Does anyone know? It feels like it's one of the outfits that they censored. No, not that one. Okay.
Are all those walls around the city supposed to protect it from Naytiba attacks?
All right. So there's no like.
Can we just go to the presence chamber, please?
The game frequently does that. It's one of my less favorite things that it does is that it just like corrals you.
Don't seem to be as reinforced as well as.
But I get it.
Wow, what is this place? I wonder how the colony would react. How about we go to the presence chamber first?
Damn it.
Let's not waste any time.
Oh my god. Okay, so the game is literally gonna like
Most
force
likely
me.
There'll be a protocol to rescue everyone.
Like,
Eve, here.
see,
It'll be a big.
it won't
project.
even let me go down a side street.
But the only way it'll be possible to contact the colony will be to finish the mission. I hope that day comes soon.
Exile Assage?
Adam, why are the streets so empty? Is
They're all
everyone
staring.
hiding because of us?
We have a situation here.
A situation?
Oh, I know why I'm hearing it double.
You'll see when you get to the presence chamber.
That's my bad, chat. Let me turn that up slightly too. Kason cosplay Eve so bad, yeah.
Eve, here.
Okay. There is jumping, by the way, chat. Will it let me? Apparently it will. Is there a double jump? There is, but I don't have it unlockable yet. I will say the character... There's times where the character just doesn't feel like it controls well, though.
Come on, we're almost there.
Highly concentrated potion. Kind of want to buy that, but also kind of don't. I shouldn't have anything to do. Oh, I did. Oh crap. Yeah, I get 4. Double dodge allows another dodge while dodging. I heard you like dodge, so I put dodge in your dodge. Hmm. Successful ambush or assault. I feel like I should be like enhancing these, but as of right now, the upgrades that these provide are like so minuscule because you don't get the beta stuff enough. So to me, it's better to like first enhance your ability to gain more beta energy. We're gonna go ahead and go with that. An attack lands more effective. Last blow of some combo attacks deals higher damage, stuns the enemy, and recharges burst energy if the attack hits the target. Okay. We'll do that as well, and that should be the 2. Everybody has their own playstyle. Yeah, there's definitely like like I said, to me, I'm not enough of a perfectionist that I think like I can perfect parry everything and stuff like that. But I'm sure there are going to be some players that definitely do that. I'm playing the game on normal difficulty. That is the only one that you could actually have at the moment. By the way, here are the unlocked outfits that I have. But like you can't go higher than that until you beat the game the first time, I believe. Wait, replenish ammo. So clearly I am either going to return here or I'm about to get my gun.
Hey, Rael. It's been a while.
Looks like you brought guests.
Very important guests. Can you open the door?
Go. Oracle is waiting for you.
See you soon, Rael.
She human or a robot? She just looks like she's like part A, part B. Because this thing's definitely a robot. Oh, okay. Just me alone, I guess. Maybe a cyborg, not this discussion again.
Whoa, this place. This is where the memories are kept, right?
You've got a keen eye. That's right. The presence chamber is where memories are stored. The memories of those who couldn't make it back to Mother Sphere. Over here.
Oh. I see we have guests. Welcome.
Is it Mimir from God of War?
Let me start the introductions. This is Zion's prophet, Oracle.
That's
I'm
definitely the
Evelyn's woman,
Mimosi.
Eve.
My name's Lily. Pleased to meet you.
Adam has told me all about you. You defeated an Alpha Natiba. Could you show me anything it might have dropped?
Here.
Oh, it's an Alpha Core. Please, a moment. Your objective is to rid the world of the Elder Natiba, the leader of all other Natibas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I suppose you're trying to use the Alpha Core as a key to open the way forward to the nest. Is that right?
How did you know that?
Unfortunately, the nest cannot be opened with the Alpha Core alone.
What? No way!
But is there really no other way to reach the nest?
By fusing 4 Alpha Cores together, you create something called a Master Core.
Of course.
Only with the Master Core will you be able to reach the very deepest corner of the nest.
So how do the Alpha
How-
Nativas ever reach the nest?
How
then?
do you know all this?
Thanks to my personal link to the facility on the surface, I can search anywhere and everywhere on Earth. All I require is the right amount of energy.
That would also mean you'd be able to track down the Alpha Natiba.
That's enough for introductions.
That wasn't a
please
no.
Insert the hypercell.
Hey,
He's British. Yep.
Please follow Adam.
Okay. Hyperdrive? Oh, let me turn Aurelia see-through.
Hey, Lily, this way.
Oh, it's so dark. I really don't like the dark.
This is the hyperdrive, the source of all of Zion's energy. Eve, the hypercell you brought will bring light to Zion. Here, try putting the hypercell in here.
Oh, come on. Don't make this a puzzle. Stick it in.
Is this some kind of graveyard?
No, the people here are in a deep sleep due to energy depletion. Carrying on this way, it can only bring darkness. Eve, please help us.
There's a weird shot. It was like aimed like behind his ear.
Thanks to the hypercell Eve acquired, they're safe. For the time being.
I'm glad I was able to do something of significance.
Yeah, that was weird translation.
Do we need more hypercells if the citizens ever want to wake up?
Yes. We need 3 more hypercells if we ever want to fully rebuild Zion. Let's go back to Oracle and you can hear the rest of the story.
So, the only thing I don't like about this is clearly like rip-off Matrix.
Outsiders, thank you for your hard work. Thanks to you, the lives of tens of thousands of people have been extended. And my personal link is also stabilizing.
That's great news! Does that mean we can figure out
It's
the
literally
location
called
of the
Zion,
Alpha
I know.
Natiba now?
All the Elder's energy is still being directed at maintaining the
And that's
crate.
totally not Adam Smasher from
Who are
Cyberpunk.
you?
Ah, this here is Man, a Sentinel commander. He also serves as Oracle's bodyguard.
My skills are still limited, shall we say, so I am not yet able to reach new areas. However, with the
Zion with
power
the X,
of
not a
more
Z, yeah.
hypercells, I'm certain I can track the location of the Alpha Natiba. That's why I'll have to ask you for a little more help. Lavoir, a place out in the wasteland, a ruin of the past. Can we count on you to retrieve another hypercell from there?
Eve, I'm sure it'll be of help.
Yes. We have no
Okay,
other
I
choice.
definitely just heard the audio cut out right there, so it's still happening.
Adam, Lily, I'll be counting on you.
But it does appear like it's lessened.
It won't be easy. Make sure to be well prepared.
Preservation of humans like Zion is for Sora's memories. Sure. Would laugh if Shadow in Sonic 3 is just John Wick. I mean, he is. Yeah, none of that mattered. That was just propaganda.
Angel, I heard you contributed to resolving the problem with the hyperdrive. Keep it up, and do what you can. As long as it benefits Zion.
Angel! I'm low. Sentinel!
Yeah?
The current situation in Zion is desperate, but I believe you'll be able to save us.
Angel, Oracle has given us the order to cooperate with you, so I'll be watching. I do not trust you. I will not forgive you if you threaten our order.
Okay, but you sure called me an angel. And not a derogatory term. Which is what most people who are untrustworthy would have probably done.
Angel, the Sentinels are watching you. Oracle has allowed you to enter the city. However, that doesn't mean that you can do as you please.
I feel better now that we're outside.
I still feel like her head is shaped
Things
weird.
can get pretty intense in the presence chamber.
I know it's the hair, but like...
Yeah, that scary-looking guy wouldn't stop staring at me.
I know he doesn't look it, but he's friendlier than you'd think. I have to finish maintenance on the tetrapod before we leave. Ave, can I ask you for a favor? I ordered a propulsion control board from a parts store called Sister's Junk. Can you go pick up the order and meet me back at the safe house? Feel free to look around the city while you do.
What safe house?
Okay.
I'm going to borrow Adam's workshop for a bit. I want to tinker with the drone.
All right, let's all finish what we have to do and meet back at the tetrapod.
Game definitely has an issue with, like, assuming familiarity. Yep. Omnibolt.
You looking for Sister's Junk? Keep going down this road till you see the stairs on the right. Anyways, been a while since I've seen an angel.
Okay. Hey, can I talk to her again? Oh, there actually is a map in this game. Holy crap. Yeah, that's like... It was trying to railroad you? Yeah, like... I even remarked, I'm like, I'm really surprised this game doesn't have a map. It would be so much better if it did. And like, that whole first area, there was like a little bit where it's like... It wasn't too bad, it was fairly straightforward. But there were easily some areas that looked quite samey and you could get turned around in. Okay.
Who are you? Why, you're the angel, the one that I've been hearing about. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you.
Oh, well, you don't have to be sorry.
Yes. Take care, and no, it's not much.
Bye. Looks like there are many different types.
Okay. That was Barry. Cat, say hello to Barry. Even though he never introduced himself. Okay. I don't know where she put that can. I think she put the can in her can. It will actually allow me to pull my sword out here. Oh, well, I can't say that one. It's just okay. Double O, triple K, E. No, chat. It's just Kappa, Kappa, Kappa. You can see what I mean about the character doesn't always control well. Like, it's difficult not to make the character, like, run into stuff and be precision. That's a ton of extreme nano element. I wonder if I can legit get on the, like, roof here. Can't double jump yet, so I don't think so, but... Okay. They're gonna find salvation. But I thought Brazilians used like ja ja ja. Oh my god, see what I mean? That's Spanish, not Portuguese. Is it? And yes. And Pierre. Wait, yeah, there was nowhere else to go, was there? Oh, is this the safe house? Baby.
Angel, seeing you in real life, you're completely different from what I had imagined.
The only thing I don't like is that everybody addresses her as Angel, and they always say it at the beginning of the sentence. It's very rigid sentence structure.
You're the angel.
Oh my god, right as I say that, somebody
Angel.
varies it up.
Please save us. Save us.
Keep calm and trust us. Yeah, no spreading rumors. Oh my god, game.
Forgive me.
Okay. He is forgiven. Can't go in there. He says nothing. The last gulp. Explore the rest of this opening first. Nice chill stream while I make more CE bombs. Yeah, the soundtrack's great. It's done by the same vocalist and composer that Nier had. Wait, that just went back up. Went all around that. Give me Nier vibes. Yeah, it's 100% meant to.
Angel, you're not allowed to use the Exile's Passage without permission.
Wow.
Even if it's you, I can't give you special treatment.
Yokotaro even gave it a seal of approval. Yeah, I saw some really weird discourse when Yokotaro like went to Shift Up and talked with them about it, and like
There is no
people were trying to say that he declared that this game was better than Nier Automata, and I'm like, he didn't, as far as I know. Like, he never actually said that, but people were like basically like trying to treat it as such, and I'm just like, and honestly, as it stands right now, there's some stuff I really like about this game. It's a really fun game. I don't think it's better than Nier right now. Like, that's saying a lot, because Nier has some jank in it as well. But like, to me, the only real jank in Nier was more like kind of like figuring out how to handle like the like core mechanic, like the CPU cores, and that was it.
Until now.
At the very least, I don't want to be disturbed when I...
Okay. Because the translation for the thing he said on Google was one person's thing said better. Yeah, like, and I could see people like easily getting confused by that, but like, it's really funny because I saw like a ton of the like Nikkei people and stuff being like, oh, Yokotaro said it's better than even his game, and I'm like, hold on, people, like, chill out. And even still, something like that is still going to be in the eye of the beholder. Plus, I think you can always just take it as, like, it's typical Japanese politeness. Ah, yes, the Kramer shop. That's Persona vibes now.
Ah, Angel. Lovely to meet you.
You don't seem very likable.
What the fuck?
All right. You're pretty sharp. I've heard it before. Folks often compare me to a snake. I'm Roxanne. Consider me a kind of info dealer.
Info dealer?
Yes. Practical things. Gossip, blackmail, fears, weaknesses. I dabble in a bit of everything. Oh, I do like this, Angel. You really are my favorite customer.
I think, like, that's definitely something I'm noticing. This is like, the translation is not done well at times. Because that just got, like, blurted out of nowhere. And, like, in English, that would be an extremely insulting thing to say. Like, you couldn't just walk up to someone and be like, you're not very likable. And, like, not expect to insult the person, right? Like, anyone would basically just take offense to that. Some people would just brush it off, but like most people would just be like, well, fuck you, I guess. So it's really weird, right? Like, and there's definitely times where it feels like there should have been more like lead up to that phrase, and then there wasn't. So it's like, it almost is like a literal translation. But wait, I don't get it. Is this just supposed to be like things that I missed?
Oh, honey. Are you leaving?
That's so weird.
I guess jokes aren't really your forte. Ta-ta.
I'm gonna kick your box.
Looks like there's a lot of activity. All right, let's take a look at some of the stories of the citizens.
Oh, okay, this is the bulletin board. Info tips that updates your info and unlocks stuff. I mean, am I missing out if I don't purchase it? Or like, am I okay to? I felt like it was near if you took out the plot, BDSM, and hacking sidekick, leaving you with gameplay and plot. People were liking it like a Souls-like, which deters me. It's way more Souls-like than Nier is. Like, the game, especially at first, the game definitely feels rough at first. And like I said, it was not until I unlocked the window extensions for Perfect Parry and Perfect Dodge that the game started to play well. Before that point, the game just felt really brutally, like, stiff. And it's only been now that it's only felt now a little stiff. Is there a maximum of these I can accept? Looking for my brother.
It seems as though I'll have to investigate. So, why refuse to go to the cradle? The input unit is down by the elevator to the presence chamber. A cat exists on Earth. In Zion. cradle? It's through the presence chamber, right?
You'll feel stiff since you cannot cancel attack animations. Yeah. Like, in that regard, Souls... And I explained this to you guys Saturday, right? So, like, just to give you guys a better idea of it. Essentially, I'll run over here, okay? So, in a Souls game, this is me with my joystick. If I were to just rotate my joystick around like this, my Souls character would spin in place. Eve does not. Eve is just straight up, like, just going haywire. Because she doesn't turn on a dime. So that's kind of why, like, the character feels stiff and floaty at times, because the precision response isn't there. It's close, but it's not quite there. It's not a Souls, it's a new game. Yeah, I agree with that, right? Like, I understand the developers going for something different, but if you're gonna have Souls-like combat, then I do feel like there is a certain degree of, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, fluidity that I expect. Buying stuff in a shop unlocks outfits. Okay, so just buy everything is what you're saying.
Of course. What brings such a cute angel fluttering on by today?
I'd appreciate it if you stopped talking like that.
Yeah.
She must have, like, a really rude, like, connotation in, like, Korean or something. See the heart mark? There is level 2 and level 3.
Information is gold, silver, and jewels. Take a look around.
Nice. Requires Bitcoin. Yo. Always hold Bitcoin, never sell.
For a cutie like you, I'm willing to go beyond my reach to get what you want.
Okay. Okay. I can only imagine if this game ever comes to PC, just how crazy people are going to go with the mods. Yeah, in that regard, making this PC or making this PS5 only is a bit of an issue, I think. Oh wait, okay. So I can't go up in level anymore. So do I need to actually buy these? They will just start importing 2B's dress. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, people would just replace Eve with 2B. It unlocks stuff for a side quest. Okay.
Oh, honey.
That's a weird thing.
Okay. So apparently someone collects all these cans. Means there's probably going to be a reward for collecting them all. Safe house. Dude, I have like no idea where I have and haven't been now at this point.
Stay away from those that disparage. Those types of guys can't be trusted.
Angel, Zion is greatly indebted to you.
Okay. See, the sword definitely changed its color at least. I don't think it changes shape. Okay. Nice store this person has. Oh. 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 What are we playing? We're playing some Stellar Blade. It's a game you've probably heard about if you've been paying attention to a lot of the media cycles in gaming here the past month. All the hullabaloo about the character being too sexy, which I do want to say is just such a total trash concept. There is nothing wrong with women being sexy in a video game, and in the same degree, it's like if you can say that there is, then there's something wrong with men being sexy in a video game. So you can't have it like, you know, only one way and not have it both ways. But I also think it's just incredibly hypocritical of the media to ever like imply that. And then like at the same time, they were all making a big deal out of Baldur's Gate and it's like actual sex scenes. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just really stupid and sad. Like I've said before, it's like, I don't really care for Nikke, because Nikke is just a game basically with a bunch of women like jiggling their asses all the time. The gameplay just doesn't seem appealing to me, right? Like, other than the sex appeal of the game. But like, I'm also not someone that would sit there and be like, you can't put this in a video game. How dare you? I don't understand people like that. Like, it's again, it's the live and let live concept that I sort of abide by, and it's like, I'm sorry, it's like, doesn't mean I have to play it, but it's perfectly okay to put it in a game.
The Sentinels are pretty unhappy with you, Angel.
What? Who is it? A real angel? Huh? I've only heard about them in rumors.
Dude, what is with his face?
Nothing to do with me. Can you leave? I have nothing to sell you.
This is the quest.
Angel. I can't believe the angel is here.
I'm
Are you
here.
the owner of the shop?
That's
This is
right.
Jacko pose for a shooting
At
pose.
least for now.
Yeah, like, and I don't mind
sent me
to a
to pick
degree,
up the
like,
propulsion
things
control board
honoring
here.
stuff. I think the only issue that I have
Hey,
is when there's, like,
Is it ready?
way too many references, and the references are not, like, references, they're just actually the same one-to-one thing.
Good to know.
But, like, I don't
Let's see.
care, right? Like, Jacko
How
pose
much
is
is
hot,
that going
so.
to cost?
Very much a
no,
Korean design.
You-
I know.
You can
Like,
just take this.
so far,
I heard you.
like, Eve looks hot, but all the other
course,
characters
I'll
look kind of
do what I
Uncanny
can to help
Valley.
You as well.
Really? Then I'll accept it. Thank you. In return, is there something else I can maybe help you with?
Huh? Oh, no.
It's just that you look like you had something weighing on your mind.
Did I now?
Just from designs,
Can't
yeah.
hide anything from you, Angel.
Do you want to give me the full story?
All right. One day, I was out working in the scrap plains of the wasteland when I ran into some nativas. I had to ditch my bike and my trunk during the escape. The bike got caught between hunks of metal. I had to leave it behind, or I wouldn't have made it out alive.
A bike. Can you give me the exact location? I do have to go out to the wasteland. I'll go ahead and find out.
Oh, thank you very much.
She's really just after the nativas.
Kaya,
Angel, hello. What
See-
brings you here this time?
But, like, she never introduced herself. That's the only reason why that's, like, really weird to me. If you use their shops often as your affinity with them grows, new items will become unlocked for sale. Some merchants might tell you their secrets. A mind map. I don't know that I want to, like, buy from her.
You leaving now? Goodbye.
farewell, Kaya.
Girl's sus. I think it's just, like, the dialogue in this game is sus. Oh my god, game. We don't have the passcode. Yeah, this is just the major hub, by the way. I feel like I should say that. So, like, I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna have more combat tonight, but
Shh, go away! Angel, if the news spreads that you're here, the Sentinels might come and take what's left. Can you not hear me? Hurry and go! Now!
Monhoho. Along with some of those. Yeah, like, I mean, it just feels really stiff, and I'm not sure if the issue is with the translation or like Korean maybe doesn't translate as one-to-one to English, right? And they're trying to be as literal as possible. So like, I'm not sure what it is. All I know is like the end result is it definitely feels like kind of jank with how it's translated. It's not like, oh my god, this is unplayable. It's not like you can't still enjoy it, but like you had that scene like with the vendor where she just basically blatantly insulted the vendor for seemingly no reason. And it's like stuff like that is going to cause some confusion. The map is not done very well because it's like doesn't show any amount of like verticality on it. I assume it's the latter problem. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's... All I can say is that's something where it doesn't feel like they spent a whole lot of time on the English translation much. Angels are rigged? Forgive my unholy transgression. It is really weird that this whole place is just like dead.
Every engineer in a place like this. Oh, the body cell is turned off.
They're trying to turn us into Naytibas?
This is my client's husband. There's no love lost between him, Orkul, and the cradle.
Let's go into the pub.
It's the angel. Don't bother me. Mind your own business.
I like how you literally just get SP from staring at that thing. Oh, yes. We're playing pool chat. Oh God, what?
Halt. This is a restricted area.
Someone made Taylor Swift bot, but forgot the rest of the body.
Wait. I'm an airborne squad member from the colony.
Huh. So you're an angel. What brings you here? Looking for a tour?
I was curious about the song coming from inside.
I heard the Prophet gave you permission to enter the city, but that doesn't mean you can go around as you please. Of course, those who've lived in the comfort of the colony don't know anything.
I don't mean any harm. I apologize if I've caused you
Dude,
trouble.
wearing a helmet like that would give you so much neck issues.
You okay? There was a time when this bar used to be full of people. Now it's just so empty. Empty and dark. And Enya, same story. I wonder how long she can keep singing, with her body in the state it's in.
Oh, so we're gonna have to repair.
I don't even know why I'm talking about this. It's pointless.
I'm trying to be sensitive, but if you need help, we might be able to fix her. After all, we do have engineering support from the airborne squad.
What? Is that so? But I have no way to repay you.
No, I don't need anything. I don't need any kind of incentive to save someone.
Cat, note to self.
In that case,
The next time you go to McDonald's, be like, wait, really? You'll give me this food? But I have no way to pay you.
Hey.
What? Yeah. I guess you're not gonna help. No, ignore me.
Sue, I have a question.
What?
Shouldn't Zion's engineers be able—
They can't. I heard they're lacking in just about everything they need. Technology, funds, basic resources.
Okay. I'll relay this to our engineer right away.
Dude, she's a tripod. Damn. Cool design. Yeah, it is. I do agree with that. Would. I don't know how you would. Wait a minute. Oh, it's a cat. Oh, no.
It's my client's black cat, but now it's a cold, dead body. What do I do? Looks a little sloppy, but
sloppy.
It should be useful in understanding the city's current status.
Okay. Did we just enter Persona 5? Yes. It's funny because it's just the same couple notes, but it is the exact same. You know what? Let's go up this way because I don't think I have. I do like how you can just steal from everyone's shop because everybody's in stasis, though. That's pretty nice. I will say, though, at least, like, design-wise, the way they've handled this about, like, you're going to have to go get more of the cores to unlock more of, like, parts of the town. It's going to make it, like, bring the town to life, and it's going to make a whole lot of sense. So, like, I actually kind of like that they did it that way. Okay, don't care. Wait, was there no book there? Is this just meant to make her bend over so you can stare at her ass? I mean, I'm not complaining, but like... Yep, so it doesn't look like there was anything here really other than the books. Please, game. I swear. Game, no, game! Grain tea oolong. All right, that worked. I didn't expect that to work, but that worked. Okay, chat. It's 11. I'm gonna say let's end it here for tonight. I will probably do the rest of the city offline. I will try to avoid like skipping story with you guys, but it's clear that there's like more side quests and stuff that I kind of need to do there. So that's something easy that I can do offline without boring you guys, and I can get us up to like the next part. So more vandalism to come. Yeah. But I figure this is a good stopping point since it's time. Let me see who all is on. And who all I can give some love to. I'm seeing a Mr. Zumi on. Let me go raid Zumi. Haven't gotten to raid them in a while. They are drawn some Fallen from dungeon meshy. If you guys are familiar with Delicious in Dungeon. But again, thank you guys for being here. Don't forget, tomorrow is the Konosuba Marathon, so no stream. That I'm honestly kind of looking forward to having a chill day for that. And again, I will try to get the Sono G video up for you guys tomorrow, and well, that should be it. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, I will see you guys Wednesday. Have a good one. Go give Zumi my love, and good night.